Yes, yes, yes. It is the Cat Worthy Podcast. We are back at you. I am Big Steve, aka Laz of a Dying Breed, on the Twitter machine, joined by EJ, the sophisticated, uh, filthy, uh,
Reformed.
sure
Call me
that
reformed.
slightly reformed,
Yep.
savage,
Yep.
still walking around with yesterday's mud wiener.
Nah,
Um,
you gotta relax. You got nasty guy.
You got a shower, bruh.
I did.
Man, you young boys, man. I tell you.
Negro. What you talking about?
you churns.
Bro. Yo,
you,
yeah, I swear you forget I swear you forget our ages. I
you gotta
swear.
pee you gotta pee that out.
Nah, you're nasty with the intro, man. Like you're nasty. What
That's
was
how you
the
that's,
80s? It was 80s porn music.
that's how you get that's how you get a UTI.
Oh my god. Are we live on Facebook, man?
Yeah, I'm sure somebody's watching.
I didn't
Someone
see
was
us go live.
yeah, we went live.
Okay.
Yes, it's Saturday night, July 18th. We are back off of hiatus.
Mm-hmm.
We took a week off
Mm-hmm.
for some fuckery while VP is out of town and still is out of town.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you know, we figure we go ahead and hold it down this fine eve and get it started. So, let's get right into it, man. This nigga Giannis Antetokounmpo has COVID, and I have a
Is
feeling
that how you going?
that's where I'm starting.
That's where you going?
I have a feeling the NBA Finals is going to end up getting put on hold because Giannis's brother went into the protocol today. You can't tell me that him and his brother don't have contact.
They don't talk, yo. They don't bang with each other like that.
Yeah, right.
They don't bang with each other like that.
They hug after every game. They be playing and joking and laughing and shit. Anyway,
Or maybe his brother was around some skeezer
yes,
and
maybe so, absolutely. But he also brought it back to his brother.
sheesh.
Uh, Giannis was halfway dead in the first quarter,
Mm-hmm.
and seemingly for the rest of the game looked just the same.
At 42
Um,
points.
I'm not saying he didn't play well, but he was dead ass tired. He was barely running up and down the court. Like it was to the point where they mentioned it multiple times on the broadcast. Like they constantly were like, "Yo, this dude is tired. He's gassed. He's dead tired." And they started that shit in the first quarter. Like, dude was he didn't look good, man. After each any stop ball, he's on it. Got his hands on his knees, head down, and he wasn't even grinding tonight like he normally does. So I suspect his lungs ain't working correctly,
You're wilding.
and
This
I just don't think he's 100%, man. And I feel like it's a potential that we see a headline come out in a day or two, um, or maybe they hide it until after the finals if they can clean up
got
game
to.
6.
They gotta hide it. It's they gotta hide it. It's too late. If they acknowledge that what you're saying is true and he played game 5 with COVID, that sets the series back uh at least the next game, at least next couple games.
Easily, because he was
Easily.
out there with all them dudes.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, they could very easily be like, we didn't test him because we did contact tracing and allegedly he wasn't around his brother, yada yada yada. Like if it was to come out like that, then they're good, right? And they can ride it out, play it out, and then I think they pause the series at that point because all them niggas was around them and together. Um, I mean, I hope he doesn't, right? Because that shit, COVID ain't nothing to fuck with, obviously, but like he was dead gas, man. And for an athlete that we've watched all year run up and down the court, at full speed, for him to be that gassed, like not even halfway through the first quarter, and then come in the second quarter after sitting out the rest of the first quarter and still be gassed, I think he might have the vids, man.
Could it be that he's still trying to catch his wind from when he hurt his knee and miss some live action?
Man, that damn knee ain't gonna make you tired.
I'm saying if you he wasn't able to run on it for the time that he had, so he might be a little gas.
Yeah, but he didn't look that bad in the first, you know,
You mean in
four
game
games.
four?
The first four. The first
Well,
four.
can't say the first
Or
four
first three
because
rather.
right, you can't. I mean, but still, you got to go after when he hurt the knee. So I mean, if you want to say game four, he didn't look that bad, then that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. He didn't look that injured. He didn't look that slow. I think it was 2 games. It was 3 and 4 that his knee was hurt. I think he hurt his knee in the third game or second game
Second
rather.
game, and then he came back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But either way, he just looked bad. I hope he's not. I don't hope he don't got COVID, but it looked like he might potentially have COVID. Um
Yeah, I mean, your hot take is just wow, and then you just led with that, like wow, you went from not knowing what we were going to talk about to just firing from the hip there, didn't you?
hey, listen, if you live in the house or you on the road doing something with a family member and that family member enters a protocol for potential exposure to COVID, I'm going to assume that you are around that family member.
Yeah,
And especially if you come out and and you can't even like you can't breathe. Like,
yeah. I mean, I've been to your house for the fantasy draft. After one day, I didn't see you again, really. So I mean, it's possible.
yeah.
It's possible. But I mean, let's talk about the game though, man. The Bucks still won. They still game five in Phoenix. We had the Suns in six.
I went to get a haircut and my barber, we were sitting there watching after game 2.
Hmm.
The Bucks were down 2-0,
Hmm.
and we were just talking about gambling and shit like that, and I was like, "Yo, a really good bet right now would be to bet on the Bucks down 0-2." You know what I mean? Because they have a great chance of obviously winning 3 and 4 because they would just be protecting home court, stealing home, the games at home. And they have a potential to win, still win the series. So it would be so we looked it up and the odds were only plus 350. So I feel like Vegas knew. Like Vegas, knew that the Bucks were not out of it at 0-2 because you would expect a 0-2 team to the odds to be a little bit higher. I was expecting something like plus 9, plus 700, plus 900, and I was gonna drop $100 and try and pull back 7 or pull back 9, but it was only a plus 350 on the Bucks at that point after being down 2 games. So um
Yeah, but I mean, those guys follow those trends. They looked at the Brooklyn series. They looked at everything else, and
mhm.
like you said, you're defending home court, so the odds are largely in your favor. I guess the Giannis injury might have potentially swayed something at one point, but shout out to him, man. I mean, he played through a hyperextended knee, got the job done, and then they come in game five. They get the momentum going. Something I ain't right. Chris Paul, if anybody might really truly been affected by COVID, it might be him. You know, um, then again, like someone else pointed out, I forget one of the analysts pointed out, you can't really say that either because when he returned from both the shoulder and COVID, he was balling. So I don't know if the breakdown is just a breakdown. I think Drew Holiday isn't getting enough credit for the defense that he's putting on Chris Paul. And hey, Bucks got they're in the driver's seat right now. The only
the
thing probably can stop them is a potential COVID scare.
the Bucks for the last 2 seasons have been one of the better defensive teams in the league, specifically in the Eastern Conference. Um, and it looked like in the first 2 games when they were getting beat up on by Phoenix, that they were not, like they had no defense. So it appears that they went to the drawing board. They found what they needed to do. They've realigned some resources where they need to be, and it's looking good. I think they realized that you you can put Drew on Chris Paul and PJ Tucker, who's bigger, can he can shuffle his feet pretty good, has been okay on Booker.
Yeah.
He's been kind of slowing Booker down, and when you got a big dude like that who don't care about fouls, sloppy ass game, leaning on you, you know what I mean? That
Yeah.
and Booker's trying to play defense on the other end. Now you're talking about tiring this guy out, and he's light skinned, so his stamina got to be light.
Ain't you like? Don't you consider yourself light skinned?
I'm light skinned.
Yeah. I
I'm
mean
coffee brown.
that play that last. Did you see that play with Drew Holiday? Stripped Devin Booker, who's driving into the lane, defense collapsing, trying to make a play, but not necessarily a smart one. You know, J. Rue Holiday comes out, snatches it, and then the alley oop to Giannis. Man, that was hell of a way to get there.
Yeah, that was a great defensive play. It shouldn't even been that close. But here's the thing, right? Phoenix came out and they ended up 32-16 in the first quarter, and they was out there flexing and celebrating and doing all this wild shit.
I saw that.
Um, and what I noticed, right? What I started to notice is, at that point, I was watching like LeBron. Like
hmm
anytime the camera caught that side of the court, because they have the audience, or
hmm
they have the crowd on the side, not with the benches. I
hmm
um I was watching like for his body language and shit, and it almost seemed like obviously, like we know, like he knows that it's a long fucking game. You know what I'm
Just wait.
saying? Like,
I was
yeah.
thinking the same thing. I was like, yo, this team, they looked so poised while they were down. They just looked like they were poised, like, what I mean, like they really weren't worried about it. You know what I mean? So
Mhm, mhm.
definitely.
And they made a lot of their run coming back without Giannis. That second quarter, the first part of the second quarter, they made a big run. They brought it, I think, to within three, give or take, without Giannis on the court. Booker was also off the court, so Phoenix was down, their star,
hmm
one of their stars, and they were able to make moves there, right? I think the problem, right now is, if you look at games 1 and 2, and then you go back now to 3, 4, 5.
hmm
Phoenix 1 and 2 were running the ball or running their offense through Aiton, right? It was pick and rolls, pick and pops. It was anything they can do to get the ball through him, maybe have him kick out and stuff like that.
hmm
And they haven't been doing that these last 3 games. And you see the spurts and the runs where he does get involved, and it's tough on the Bucks. I don't know what's going on, but somebody needs to understand that. Monty Williams should know better. Chris Paul should know better. Like, he should be able to say, "Listen, we need to regroup." They don't got shit. They don't have nobody that can stop that guy. Not Brooke Lopez. Not gassed up Giannis. This guy's a huge monster in the paint. You got to run the ball in there and try to get them in foul trouble, right?
Well,
And you just haven't seen it.
I think to your point, it makes sense on paper and what we could expect. But I think the Bucks have risen to the challenge to show otherwise. Look, for game 4, he's in foul trouble galore. So they got to get him off the court. And then late, when it came down to it, Giannis getting the big defensive play, that kind of stuff kind of takes your heart out. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I think, listen, while people might shit on this finals, they might say this isn't the finals that we wanted, whatever, whatever. I think if Giannis wins this, he earned it. He earned it. You know, people. I saw Lakers fans saying, "Yo, sons, why y'all didn't let my Lakers win?" Like, who was gonna go? Who's gonna go this deep? LeBron had nobody with him. Anthony Davis was hurt. That whole Lakers squad imploded, had no depth. It looked very similar to the Cleveland teams of the past, where they order Miami teams of the past where they lost. Very front loaded, no bench. I think these guys earned their spot this year. And it's a war of attrition. Getting injured and not getting injured is a part of the game. You know what I mean? So,
That
uh,
Lakers team ain't have shit for fucking Utah. Let's just say that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like like even if they would have beat the Suns, they ain't have shit for Utah. And a Paul George led team potentially could have beat the Lakers.
I definitely think they would have had something for the Lakers for sure. I mean, LeBron literally would have been out there on his own, and that's what happens. This team was front loaded. You got your championship. You put all your eggs in one basket with AD, and LeBron was dealing with injury all year. Listen, it's the war of attrition, man. You got a cat that's 38 years old trying to carry a team. Hey, we know he's all world, but everybody's human. You know what I mean? So I'd say if
And he's
Giannis and
old.
them win this, kudos to them.
And he's old. He's basketball old. LeBron, that is.
Athlete old, sports old for sure.
Yeah. So
Definitely.
but yeah, I would like to see the Bucks come back or to continue and win this series, just because it'd be nice to see a 0-2 team come and do some things. A team that hasn't been built on superstar
Hmm.
super team shit. You
Hmm.
know, they brought in some free agents and Drew Holiday and shit like that, but he's not a superstar. You know, he is a star, absolutely, but he's not a superstar, right?
Right.
Middleton was already there. Giannis was already there. And actually, if you really think about it, we watched Giannis grow up in that organization.
Yeah.
You know, a few years ago, he wasn't nothing. The year he won the dunk contest, like nobody even knew how to say his name. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
He was a
Right.
young lanky kid that that could dunk, and that was it, right? And he came along, and we saw him grow. We saw him grow into that team, and they brought in the right pieces. They brought in Drew to run the point. They brought in Brook, who's a decent defender. He's a veteran center, right? Um, and they got Connaughton and their white boys and shit like that. And those guys get and PJ Tucker, they traded for this year, and those guys, they're doing the job. They're getting it done.
They got it through the mud, and they went through. The one thing we said could have happened with Brooklyn was injuries. We literally said the one thing that we knew for sure was going to stop that team was injuries. Harden plagued by hamstring, Kyrie freak accident. You know what I'm saying? Freak basketball accident. And again, like we talked about it. Well, I don't remember if we talked about it on air, but people were talking about, oh man, this season was a lot of injuries. LeBron's right, short, whatever. Listen, first and foremost, the union, y'all had a chance to say something. Y'all wanted to go along with it. Number
Mhm.
two, a lot of these injuries were basketball contact injuries. They weren't fluke injuries. Kyrie got hurt in a basketball play. You know what I mean? And then Kevin Durant was on his own. And we saw what would happen. He had a valiant effort, but at the end of the day, Giannis could put on his shoulders that, look, I beat KD, Harden, and Kyrie while they weren't healthy. He had to get past them. You know what I mean? And that's if he gets a title after this, I mean, that's a hell of an accomplishment, man. To get it through the mud, and as they say, and from here, they could look to free agency, draft, whatever it may be, and you got to say they might be a contender going forward, especially if he adds some more pieces to his game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they should be in the East. It should be between them and Brooklyn for a few years to come in the East, unless someone else makes a big change, right? But when you got to feel like if you're either one of these teams, right? When you see these all the super teams start to fall out, you see Brooklyn drop out, you see
LA.
the Clippers drop out, you see the Lakers drop out. You got to feel like, yo, all we got to do is get there, and we got a great chance because there ain't, on either one of these teams, you can be sitting there thinking there ain't nobody left that could beat us. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying?
Hmm.
And so that's where they are right now. And it seemed like Phoenix came out fresh legs, right? After sitting out for a while, waiting for the Eastern Conference to catch up, and it looked great for them for those first two games. But there, the Bucks had some time to game plan, and it's looking like it could be their series, right? Phoenix is gonna have to steal one on the road in order steal this next game on the road in order to get back in this series.
And that's gonna
Um,
be tough
and that is
to
gonna be tough because
to
them
steal Game
motherfuckers
Six in Milwaukee. They're gonna be amped. Giannis is focused at home. Middleton,
crowd
do you feel
noise.
like Middleton plays better at home or on the road? Because I was kind of conflicted with that.
Um,
Because Middleton's your guy.
I think Middleton is he's a 50-50 guy. I don't know if he plays better in either area specifically. Um, I think he feeds off the energy of what the team is doing, but I also feel like when eh, the one thing that has helped him out in these last three games is Giannis being a little fatigued. It seems like when Giannis is in the game and he's healthy and he's playing a lot of minutes, he wants to make sure Giannis gets his touches and he gets his shots up and stuff like that. And when with Giannis being out, it's has been time for him and Drew to kind of get shots up and make the mid range pop and stuff like that. And he started to show up in the fourth quarter. So yeah, I mean he's doing his job, man. He's popped up. He's doing what he needs to do. At home, I think it's gonna be big for those guys. But you know who is the a difference maker when they play at home, who feeds really well off the crowd, is Portis.
Hmm. Hmm.
This guy is an energy guy. And when he feels the energy in the crowd, this guy is there for it. And I
Hmm.
think it's gonna be so tough for Phoenix to go in there and steal one. I think in order for them to do that, they're gonna need a Jay Crowder to have a big game. And they're gonna have to run the ball through Aiton. They have to run the ball through Aiton, let him open some stuff up and play inside out.
I think they're done. I mean, I think they're done. I don't see, like, I didn't see any of the fire from them. Chris Paul kind of looked at the end of the game like Devin Booker was obviously pissed off. Chris Paul just looked like flabbergasted. When your team leader and the heart and soul of your squad and the person that you banked everything on to get you there is just looking like he's lost for answers. I think they're done. I think they're
Yeah,
done. Now, I mean, Chris Paul has been known to put his head down and rally the guys, but again, we going into Milwaukee, like, this is going to be you talking about a hell of a task, man. And I don't know, like you said, I don't know if Monty Williams is in the game, because game 4 he didn't really seem like he had a lot going on. Didn't seem like the team was responding to him. It's going to be interesting, man. I think the Bucks are going to pull it out, and I think Giannis is going to walk away with one, man.
Chris Paul is the one reason why I can't say that they're out of it. Because he's a veteran, man, and at any time he can really take over the game. Make He can make plays for other
Hasn't been
people.
able to do it since Holiday's been on him.
No, he hasn't, but at any time he can. He's similar to a lot of other point guards. He's one of the best point guards to ever play the game. Um, and he can make things happen. That's the only reason I can't say that it's done. Um, but also Devin Booker, man, Devin Booker's gonna have to he's gonna have to make shots. You can't put up 40-40 and then kind of disappear like for the rest of the series. Like these guys need you. They depend on you. You got young guys on the team. Campaign, Cam Johnson. Like these guys are young. They don't those aren't the guys that should be leading this team. Even Aiton for that matter is young.
Mm-hmm.
You got your true veteran, and then you got what should be your superstar, your next superstar.
Rising, yep.
So or rising star. So he's got to get it done.
Mm-hmm.
I do think the Bucks are gonna win it, but it's hard. I do
I
understand. I
can't see
think
them.
Phoenix
I
has a
can't see
shot.
them losing Game 6 at home and then winning in at Game 7 in Phoenix.
Yeah, I don't know if they can beat the Buck. I don't think Phoenix can beat the Bucks 2 games in a row. Um, but we'll see, man.
Uh,
We'll see.
Rest in peace, Biz Marquee,
Yeah, rest in peace of Biz Markie, man.
Strong Island legend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
57 years old, man. 57 years young.
Yep. Yep.
Biz pioneer, true pioneer to the hip hop game, to rap game. It's a huge loss, man. It's a big loss. You look at the responses that have come out from his
Everyone.
peers,
Yeah.
yeah, from his peers and anybody else around him. Obviously he was a loved guy. Beyond more than just the music. He's a guy that everybody seem to like and never have any problems with, any beef or anything like that. So it's tough when you see those types of things happen. Um, but young guy, man, 57 years old is young, man.
Very. And Biz Marquee, he's a guy that came out in the 80s and coming from Long Island, which a lot of people that talk about Long Island don't really geographically know what it's made up of and what the dynamics are. And Long Island just geographically is a jurisdictional difference from the city, right? You got Brooklyn, Queens, and Nassau and Suffolk County. They're all in the same strip of land. You can get anywhere back and forth on the road, in and out. And in Long Island, you've got disparity of wealth, just like any other borough, any place in New York City. But you got your black places in which many of our entertainers have come from, and we call that Strong Island, to signify the black people. And Biz was very special in the sense that he was one of the very first, him, Chuck D, and Public Enemy, and Rakim, to come from Long Island and make their mark on the hip hop game. Biz, man, like he just changed the game. The crew, from being in the crew to just people just loving his style and just saying he's just a good guy. It's just, yeah, man. People feel it. He was battling, lost his life battling complications from diabetes. So, yeah, man, definitely. We've lost so many guys in hip hop this year.
You know, when you talk about that, you talk about the diabetes and things like that, and just losing people, and you got Black Rob and DMX and these guys, and I know X is a little different, but like somebody needs to tell these dudes to invest in insurance, man. Like people need to start going to get checked. Like we got too many young black people, um, especially now. It's so easy to get into music business because you don't have to. It's not like it used to be back in the day where you had to stand outside, hand people tapes and shit like that. With the internet and with the networking, the availability and the access that people have to you, your profile, your music, it's so much different now. So there's so many people with more opportunities, but people gotta these dudes gotta go get checked, man. Like, and I'm not saying he didn't, but it's important to be able to catch stuff like this early. It's important to be able to have the health insurance necessary. When they're making all this money, they- you know, make the chain the second thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go get some health insurance for you, your family, your loved ones. Get some investment advice and then start buying, the dumb shit. But the big piece, because I mean, look at Black Rob similarly, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Nori kind of not that they need any promotion from us, but Nori and EFN have kind of been talking about the hip hop union thing, like a Screen Actors Guild kind of thing, or just like a union that just, I mean, yeah, man, it's too many brilliant people in that or in that world. The Puffies, the Kanyes, the Pharrells, the Timberlands, the Swiss, you know, all producers, the Jay-Z's, the Talibs, it's too many brilliant millionaires in that world for this not to be on the forefront.
Mhm.
And they really got to look at themselves and analyze themselves. And while Nori and EFN have flirted with the idea, they not really following through either. Fat Joe, the DJ Khaled's, Rick Ross, these people got millions of dollars. And not only just millions of dollars, but they got knowledge. They have networks. They have connections. So there should be no reason why something like this, or a union or something where the guys, especially the guys and ladies of the 90s, that may not have the bag that people have today,
Mhm.
i.e. your Black Robs, but the legends, you know what I'm saying? It should be no reason why they haven't gotten something done, or at least advance something to ensure that somebody's taken care of.
Yep.
Especially even when you're talking about the old school legends, the Hercs and the people from that era, the cool Hercs and Kaz and all of those guys that are still around, those that are around. You know what I mean? Like dudes like Big Daddy King have kind of been touring and continue to tour. So they're getting, Kane is still getting the bag from touring. But it's so many guys from that era that, who knows what's going on with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
And,
I, you
and
know,
I, I think they dropped off. And to your point, man, the networks that people have, like Khaled, I saw Khaled today on his. I just happened to be going through Snapchat, and he was in a yard or in a circle of people where Michael Bay was there, the fucking movie producer, or
hmm
like you got that kind of network. You got to pass that on um to the culture. You know, the culture needs not access to Michael Bay, but when you have that kind of network, that means that you can absolutely build a network of doctors. You can build a network of lawyers,
hmm
for these people when they get in trouble, or when when they fall ill and things like that, and so they can get their wellness checks annually and shit like that. It's important. It's important. Even if it's just education, right? Even
right.
if you're not building the network, right? Education, get someone to educate these young men as they get into this field, before as they start to age, especially, being that a lot of them, you know whatever their vice is, right? Whether it's drinking, whether it's smoking, whether it's popping pills, like your body can only take but so much, man, before it starts to catch up. The eating, right? That's how these guys get sick like that, these heart problems, these diabetes problems. They have the access to the money, they eat all the shit they want. Whatever bullshit they want, they can get it.
hmm
And the last thing they're thinking about is being healthy. They're not thinking about when they hit 45. They're not thinking about when they hit 50. um you know are they going to be healthy? Is their cholesterol going to be high? Is their blood pressure going to be high? They're living for the moment. And when you're successful, you got to enjoy your money. You got to do everything you can to enjoy your money, um, and stretch the time that you have here on this earth so that you can enjoy it. So
Yeah.
somebody got to do something about it.
I had a question for the night, based on the next thing that I wanted to think about. You were born in New York and lived there for some time and then moved to Connecticut, which is still the tri-state area for New York and others, right? Y'all still no, y'all not tri-state area for us. I'm tripping.
Yeah.
Um y'all are for New
Mm-hmm.
York? I'm tripping.
Mm-hmm.
Um but I was thinking about it and I posted, something on Facebook. You know, top 5 areas in the New York metro area with the most impactful hip hop artists. And I ranked them. So I'm saying like basically a place in New York city or other where the rap or hip hop artists had the biggest impact on the game and just meant more to the game. And I ranked them: Brooklyn number 1, uh no, Bronx number 1, Brooklyn number 2, Queens number 3, Strong Island number 4, and Staten Island number 5. I was debating. I wasn't debating. I was talking with someone today. They made a strong case for Queens actually being number two, but I didn't want to show my bias and hatred towards Brooklyn, so I said Brooklyn number two. Um, then
Well,
Harlem was another potential to take Staten Island's place. But what say you? What are you thinking? What do you feel about that?
are you talking about just because it sounds like you're talking about just New York?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, just New York, just New York.
okay, because when you talk about you know, Northeast, tri-state, New England, etc., you can't leave out Jersey, right? You can't leave out even Boston. You got Guru, Gangstar came from Boston. Like, there's dudes that came from Boston as well. But
Yeah,
if but if you're talking about just New York,
I mean, in the scheme of things, New York has the most influence in this discussion.
oh, absolutely, by
Yeah,
far. New
yeah,
York
by
has the
far.
most influence by far. It's not even close.
Right,
And specifically the Bronx. The Bronx by far
fathered
has
it.
the has the most influence. I got to go from the Bronx to Brooklyn, specifically because you got Jay and Big, right? Just those two alone.
Hmm.
Um, and then for me after that, I do have Harlem. And the
Wow.
reason I have Harlem is because is not so when if we're talking about best artists, maybe different story. Queens to me over Harlem.
Hmm.
But if we're talking about influence, I'm thinking along the lines of um, you know, people that changed the game and made people do things, right? So
Hmm.
like a Cam had niggas wearing pink. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Harlem niggas always wanted to be flashy and fly, or people wanted to be flashy and fly because of Harlem cats.
Hmm.
Um, like that's just how they've always been when you talk about influence. Queens close by because you know people wanted to you know be gangsters, shoot people up and shit like that. But but you didn't. But that was that's the illegal shit, right? When you talk about just influence on the game and what you still got people today walking around in the patchwork jackets and patch jackets with all the NBA teams, MLB teams, etc. Um, because that's what they did in Harlem. The whole bandana movement. Jewels and his. Uh, you got Jimmy, right?
Jimmy's
The
from
va-
the Bronx, really, but
yeah, but in the music, he's from he's Harlem, right? He's Harlem World.
mm.
Um, so yeah, that's how I look at it, and then you talk about Big L and like that's why I got Harlem there when you talk about influence. And
So
then
that's three for you:
yeah,
Bronx, Brooklyn, Harlem. Okay,
yeah, and then I got Queens. You know,
right.
Queens has to be in that because they're 3-4. They might be 3A, 3B if you want to talk about it. Um and then I guess yeah, then you can go into Staten Island. Staten Island, they had their I mean obviously they got the Woo.
That's it. But the Wu is influential just worldwide. Just
Hmm. It's a different
incredible.
level. It's a
The
different
the
level.
the reason I went Queens and Harlem is on the outside for me. Even though you got Curtis Blow, Dougie Fresh, Kumo D, then the guys you spoke of when you talking about Queens and the number of rappers throughout the years, Nas and LL alone, and then you talk about MC Shan and Cool G Rap. Who Cool G Rap influenced so many people's style. Um, and then when I look at Long Island or Strong Island, Public Enemy's influence on Run DMC, on NWA, on Scarface, on Ice Cube, Rakim, being everybody's top five, favorite, Busta, the leaders of the new school, and that shit, the Hit Squad minus Redman. But yeah, and but Harlem was right on the outside for me, um, largely for the reasons that you mentioned. And then I rounded the list off with Yonkers at 7. Because I don't know any other place in the New York area that had a conglomerate of rappers that, what I mean, like DMX, just in his own category. I guess now Buffalo with Griselda, but overall, you know it was an interesting topic that I thought about, and that leads us into the verses coming in a couple weeks.
Yeah, when you, I mean, and when you talk about Queens, there's a couple people that were left out, like 50,
50 shit, 50
Tribe,
Ja,
Salt and Pepper.
Salt and Pepper,
You
Kid and
mentioned
Play.
Gucci Rat, um,
People forget Kid and Play from Queens.
Capone and Noriega.
CNN.
Shit,
That's why I always tell people Queens is
Mob Deep,
always, yeah. I mean, one half of my
Mob Deep, Black Sheep. Like they,
that's why I always say like Queens is arguable, because when I say influence, not we think about the game changing, but then you gotta look at the number of people like Queens. The one thing that the Bronx has, what's always baffled me about the Bronx, is that it fathered hip hop, but it was not able to produce stars over time. Like you go from KRS-One, who's not even from the Bronx but reps the Bronx. Then you go to and then not from KRS-One, but where it started, Cool Herc and etc. And then you go to KRS-One, and then you don't really have anything until Pun and Joe. Digging in the crates, and then and Joe as a solo artist, then Pun, then Remy, and now Cardi, and maybe French Montana. Other than
yeah.
that, you
Well,
don't
I
you don't really
mean,
have any mega
Omega.
respected. You don't have any I'm talking about on that level of
Yeah,
people that's gonna really, you know what I mean?
superstars. Well, you
Right.
got, you had Slick Rick, right?
London.
In Swiss. I know Swiss rocked with Rough Riders, but he reps the Bronx
He's
hard.
he's from the Bronx for sure. For
You
sure.
know, um,
But you don't really, nah, when you talking about legendary rappers that are gonna make your list, you know what I'm saying? You got Pun and KRS-One.
and Joe.
Fat
Like
Joe. Yeah.
Joe's not gonna make. He's not gonna make my lyricist list, but like you can always count on Joe for a hit. You can always count on Joe for a summer track. Like you know what I'm
Joe,
saying.
I
And
mean, Joe would
when you
make my
talk,
lyricist list, but I mean,
when
he's
you
not
talk
gonna be above certain people.
right, when you talk longevity in the game, shit,
Joe is
Fat Joe
one of the
might
longest
be.
running.
He might be.
One of the
He might.
longest running.
Um, but yeah, you said it. You said this kind of leads us to the verses. It was announced that August 3rd, Tuesday, August 3rd. I don't know why the fuck they're doing it on Tuesday, but whatever. Um,
They knew you gonna be home.
they expect people to be home.
Right.
Tuesday, August 3rd. We will have the Locks versus Dipset,
The diplomats.
the Dips, and I've seen a lot of different things people have said,
Hmm.
and I'm sure you have a take on it. What's your
I
take on it?
mean, a lot of the stuff I've been saying, and I've been having to sorely remind people, because people keep coming out saying Jada alone, and then it's like, nah, but Cam alone, and I'm like, wait a minute, you do realize Jada already had a versus? I think while it was iconic and early and set up verses, and we remember Drunkle Jada, I think people literally have forgotten he already had one. You know what I mean? So it's like you talking about Jada doing solo joints in the group joint. I don't think they're gonna do any solo joints, and I don't think Cam is gonna do any solo joints. And I think if they did any solo joints, especially as Cam is concerned, they would be remiss, because they could save Cam for a battle. We've talked about this before. We wanted to see Cam versus 50, even we know it might not be. We speculate it may not be a cordial versus or whatever that case may be. Or I would like to see Cam versus 50 or Cam versus Fat Joe or something. And I think Swiss and them gotta kind of get the momentum back because all of this time in between, and I'm certain, with contracts and venues and everything else and logistics is gonna take longer than what we really think. But I don't think it should take long. Like, I mean, whatever bag y'all been giving people, some of these guys, when you're talking about 50 and a Fat Joe, the bag, I'm sure you're gonna love the bag, but I think they would do it for the competition alone. Cam, I think would do it for the competition alone. But again, a lot of people have been reverting to that conversation. I think it's gonna be close, man. Like the Locks got some old features where they were on some old tracks, some old bangers. You know, that's gonna be the majority of their bread winning because them joints that they did all about the Benjamins, banned for TV, shit like that. The Diplomats are gonna give you a lot from them first two albums, and it's gonna be a good show. It's gonna be a good show. I love to see it.
Dipset Anthem or Benjamins?
Shit. Oh, yeah, son of a bitch for that one. Uh, damn. My favorite verse on that, all about the Benjamins, is Sheik's. You got to go with all about the Benjamins, man. That's god damn it.
I know Big is the difference maker on it, but
Yeah,
when you're talking about you know,
our
Dipset
prime
Anthem
time.
as a track, right?
Our prime time. That's our prime time.
All
Super
about
prime time.
all about the Benjamins is super duper classic, super duper classic.
Right.
And when it comes on today, depending on the setting, it'll get shit riled up. But there's also settings where it might come on and niggas might just be like, "Oh, that's my shit." But when Dipset Anthem hits, I don't think it matters the setting. If it's a group of people around, oh my lord.
You
Um,
gotta knock to that joint.
yeah, yeah. So,
Give me another one. That was a good one.
um, let me think. I just had one. I was thinking banned from TV. Hmm.
Gangster music.
I was thinking that. I was thinking that.
See, the Dips got some joints, and you gotta really like remember them. And when they come on and they hit, you gonna be there.
How about yeah, I don't think they're ready. I don't think that beats banned from TV, but I was gonna say I really mean it.
Yeah, no, I don't think shit will beat banned from TV because banned
No,
from TV is just that's the ultimate cheat code, and it's crazy because you got every artist on that track could use that shit. You know what I mean?
I
Like
got one
banned
for
from
you.
TV is the ultimate cheat code.
Banned from TV or Hey Ma.
Banned from TV easily. Like that's a track that just there's not many compilation tracks that could beat that.
Banned from
Only
TV.
only other few I can think of that could beat Banned for TV, and this is not even for the Diplomats. It's just overall. Craig Mack, Flavor in Your Ear remix,
Mm,
Scenario remix with
mm,
Leaders of New School and on Tribes joint.
mm-hmm.
Um, um, 5 4 3 2 1 maybe.
Ooh.
Uh, Triumph, even though that's one crew. Triumph maybe. So it's not a lot of it's not a lot of tracks all time that
Reservoir
can beat
Dogs
Reservoir Dogs.
is
That I
up
think
there for me. I don't know if it beats it, but it's up there for me.
that's it.
Even
I think that's for a lot of people, and no disrespect to them because that's one of our favorite tracks. A lot of people might say that's a B-side because it wasn't a commercial joint.
How about banned from TV? And this isn't going to be diplomats, but or what we do.
God
Mm,
damn it.
that's a
Ooh.
tough one. That's a tough
Still
one.
hustle till the sun come up. Crack a
Yeah, I don't
40
know if
when
I
the
could call
sun
that
go
one.
down. It's a cold winter. Ooh. Regardless of rain, the sleet, snow, or hail. Ah, oh man. Ah,
That's a hard one, man. That's a hard
yeah,
one.
I got nothing on that one.
That's a
That's
tough one.
that's a damn good topic right there. Banned from TV is such a strong track, man. Like
I had another one for banned for TV. Um, I mean, it's a crew, but Triumph.
I said Triumph. I just said that.
Did you?
Yeah, I said it's a crew, but Triumph is up there. Yeah, for sure.
I
I
didn't
mean,
hear you.
RZA's verse though.
I thought you said
Nah, yeah, I said that earlier, but I'm with you, and Capadonna leading that off is,
what
eh,
about banned from TV or it's yours?
I
That's a tough one, man. It's a tough one.
I gotta go with Band for TV. I gotta go with Band for
I
TV.
think banned from TV. That beat is just so
Beat
crazy.
is nuts.
Jada's track on that shit is ridiculous.
The beat is nuts.
How about banned from TV or World War III?
Mm, mm, mm. Yo,
Tugboats.
you fucking with the kiss. You ain't gonna breathe. Only time I'm licking the air is New Year's Eve. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, they gonna play that on Tuesday.
Snoop shit.
They gonna play that on Tuesday.
They might. They might.
They got to.
They might.
They
Listen, man. The
absolutely have
locks.
to.
The locks. I think the locks is gonna beat
I
Dipset.
I gotta say the Locks gonna win. I got now that I'm going through it. I say the Locks gonna win. I don't think that beats Banned from TV either though. And Nori and Beans been flirting with the idea of a versus. So we both going with the Locks for diplomats, but Nori versus Beans, give it to me.
Hmm. I think if they do solos though, I think Dipset got something for him because Cam's catalog is different, man. Listen, Jada's catalog is different,
But
but
I don't think they can go solos. I don't think they
you,
should.
but Cam's catalog is different. Jimmy's catalog is getting there. It's
Oh yeah,
there.
for sure.
If I'm talking about if I put Jimmy's catalog up against SP, I got Jimmy.
No question. Ballin, Summer of Miami,
That whole
um,
that whole album.
POME, um,
Hustler's Poem, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
um if I'm putting Cam against Jada, that's a rough night. That's a long one.
Cam got Jada for me.
That's a long
Cam got Jada for me.
'cause I think where Jada gets Cam, like if you're talking about just their albums, Cam got it. But if you're talking about features and all of that added in, Jada's
Jada
features.
got some features, but
Jada's
Cam
features.
Cam got Cam got some strong joints on his own. Nevertheless, and
Oh
Sheik,
yeah.
while he's my
Garrett.
favorite, pretty much washes anyone else left in Dipset.
Yeah, Freaky.
Yeah,
They
I mean, Sheik don't really have
uh,
strong, notable.
Jewels.
Joel solo that might be a push because Sheik don't really have notable solo joints, like unless you're a strong fan. But
Right.
who do you have with Nori or Beans if they square off?
If that was to happen, oh man.
I got Nori. I got Nori. Nori got more hits.
Yeah, I guess. I guess it depends. Like, yeah, for what verses is, it's Nori.
Right.
For
Right.
what verses is, it's Nori.
Right.
But if you're talking about if you're if you're
Yo,
shutting down all the internet and only playing it and only letting New York cats
give me
watch it,
give me Beans, give me 4 to 5 of Beans top songs that you can think of. I can't think of that many. I mean, he would do what we do,
well, we do feel it in the air.
feel it in the air. 900 Hustler.
Once again, no, 900 also I don't think makes his top five.
Okay.
Feel it in the air. Oh,
Uh-huh.
did we say that?
Yeah. Um
So what do
so
we
you
got?
got we got what we do. We got Feel It in
Oh,
the Air.
once again, it's on.
Once again it's on. Mac
Um,
Was that the same shit?
Mac bitch.
Bitch.
No,
Ma-
Mac bitch is a different track.
Mac bitch. Then you
Oh,
got
flip side.
okay.
Yeah.
That's not his joint, but we
It's
missing a bean.
P. It's
We
P.
missing the beans joint though. We missing the
Um,
beans joint.
you said Mac bitch, right?
Yeah. What's
Um,
shit? I can't think.
you still got, I mean, all his state property
Right.
stuff.
Right. It's a
And then
solo joint I can't think of.
you got oh
The truth.
the
The truth.
truth,
The truth.
and you got his diss track to Jada.
The diss track to Jada. And I mean add in the other joints. So the features that he's on. Add in the flip side.
Yeah, yeah.
The
There's a
joint with
bunch.
Scarface. What's the joint with Scarface? Even on this shit, if I'm him, I'm adding in the dynasty shit.
Oh yeah, yeah,
I'm adding
absolutely.
that dynasty shit. 1-900 Hustler. You know what I mean? I'm adding that.
Oh, what's your life like?
What's your life like? Yo, I can get a couple places they can go. But then we
Remember them
looking
days with Eve? That shit was fire.
when you go to Nori though.
Who want
Yo,
what with Bleak?
it's a body in the trunk, son.
Who want what? Yeah, yeah,
yo,
yeah.
it's a body in the trunk, son. Yo, bang bang,
Oh,
motherfucking
those yeah. Bang Bang. I don't even know if Bang Bang makes it.
shit.
When you
That
talk
shit
about
hard. That bang what?
no, it was, but I
What?
think I'm just
Oh
saying.
my god.
I think Nori has five better tracks than it. It's personally.
I mean, we
Um,
talking about 20 though.
yeah, no, I'm just saying when we talk. So with Beans, you said name his top five.
Oh, you talking about individual joints? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But with Nori, I mean, Nori got the Capone and Noriega stuff too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But yeah.
I think that's a versus that would be phenomenal. I think that
And
would
then
be
Nori gets into
phenomenal.
his Nori gets into his
Reggaeton.
reggaeton.
What? They got reggaeton. Yo, that would be. I think that would be one that we need because you just gonna be like, oh shit. You know what I mean? Like I forgot about that. I
So
just
he got Nori,
Nori
Super Thug.
Super Thug internet
Yeah. That he got
yo.
Mathematics, the Esta Loca, that shit.
Yep.
Obviously banned from TV. Yo, that album's crazy. That Nori album is
Nori
crazy.
album was crazy. The
That
Melvin Flint one was the one that kind of flopped for him.
yeah, I kind of I like the Melvin Flint.
Hmm.
It wasn't. I mean, it wasn't great, but it was just times that it was. I mean, he had Blood Money on it. Part 3 was on that.
That was bloody money. Bloody money was nuts. Yo, people forget Nori gave us some bangers, man. Nori gave us some joints, yo.
Yeah,
He gave us
and
some
then you
joints.
get into his Neptune shit, grimy.
No, what's the shit? Homeboy, I came to
Oh yeah.
party. Yo,
Hmm.
girl is looking at me. She's a haggler. No, I'm not tagging her. But you don't want the boys to come over and start asking you. Oh boy,
Right.
sheesh.
Yeah, Nori got some shit, man.
They got some joints. They got
Nori
some
got
joints. I hope they
got
make it happen, man. They be talking
and then if he plays CNN shit, oh my lord.
the War Report,
Oh my god.
the
The War Report is
reunion.
crazy.
The reunion is my favorite joint.
Because you
Reunion
got
is my
Blood
favorite joint.
Money, you got TONY.
Yep.
TOMY is, oh my god. Yeah, no. Yeah, that could be a good one, man.
I'm
That could be a
telling
good
you,
one.
I'm
That could
telling you,
be.
that would be a true 90s 2000. Yo, it would take you right back. It would take
I
you
would
right there.
I would like to see CNN versus um Beans and Bleak,
Uh, I mean, you can't really say
because
Beans and Bleak a duo.
they're not a duo, but I mean, like if I'm playing Capone and Noriega tracks, like the closest thing I can get into to that with Beans is, I mean, I don't want to put State Property in there. There's too many of them niggas. Um, but he
Bleak,
had track.
man.
Yeah, Bleak is the. I think Bleak is one of the all time cameo rappers whose albums just never could really do it. Now, don't get me wrong, his albums had some shit on them,
I loved them. The
but
understanding.
but as a every cameo he was ever on was fire.
Fire.
Any of
Fire.
them R&B tracks he jumped on, whatever the tracks with Hove, all that shit,
Fire.
all that
Definitely
shit.
fire. Definitely
Um,
fire.
all right, so you got Dipset, or oh no, you got the Locks, right?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the locks.
Okay,
I think I'm gonna go with the
yeah,
locks.
I think so. I think the Locks should win it on paper, but
And I
song
and I,
choice is important, right?
right.
So
I was just gonna say, and I think because how Jada dismantled Fab, and I told y'all this before that, but we can go back and log it. I knew the song selection was gonna be everything Jada versus Fab. And I think Jada takes this shit so seriously. Styles out there talking crazy. I don't know how serious the Dips are taking it.
nah, Jimmy's talking wild shit. Jim Jones is talking wild shit. I haven't heard shit from Cam, but Jim is talking wild shit. Um, but I think yeah, it's song choice is important.
hmm
Um, and if I mean they are gonna be live, they're gonna be in MSG, and if you talking about crowd noise
That's gonna be
participation,
nuts, bro.
I-
I saw tickets on sale for that.
like the Locks gets it going, but the Dips gets it going. Like
The
when you talk
yeah,
about the crowd,
yeah,
oh
yeah,
my, they
yeah,
get it
yeah. You're
going.
100,000% right about that. I saw the Locks here maybe 2.5 years ago, maybe three, and the concert was lit. And they played some bullshit, to be honest with you. They did not play everything I wanted them to play.
Mhm.
Um, but the Dips just
And now
those
that's the other
beats.
part, man. That Locks album, oh my
We
god,
Are the Streets, or which one?
We Are the Streets.
We Are the Streets.
Oh my god,
We Are the Streets got some joints.
they probably could play 10 tracks off of that
I think they're gonna have to.
easily, easily.
They're gonna have to because everything before that ain't really Locks shit.
Well, you got 24 Hours to Live.
Whoo. On which where's that at?
That was
That's
on
not
that was on the Bad Boy album.
right. That's what I'm saying. They first because I don't remember them having a joint on Bad Boy.
Their album,
Yeah.
Money, Power, Respect.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Money. Oh shit. Money, power, respect.
Right,
Oh shit.
right. So
Shit.
let me pull that album up.
Shit.
Uh, let's see. There you
That
go.
but that's the beauty of the verses because the nostalgia and the things that you because you forget shit. Like I mean, just being real,
Mhm.
you forget shit. Like you just do. And I've been listening to so much of the new shit. Like, if I listen to Jada today, I'm bumping the Ignatius joint. Like that's one of my favorite joints he did recently. So I'm like, I forget about this shit. And I can't think of anything. I
Oof.
could think of Dipset
Oh,
Volume 1, but what we
if you think
missing?
I'm Jiggy is on there,
Yeah, it's nasty.
mhm. If you think I'm Jiggy is on there, Money, Power, Respect is on there.
Uh-huh.
What else is on
I don't
there?
think they're gonna play If You Think I'm Jiggy though. I feel like that was one Puff made him do, and they probably hate that shit.
I think they might do that. We'll Always Love Big Papa's on that album. I'm not saying they probably won't do that, but it's on there. They might though. Um, but yeah, I mean, and then and
We Are the Streets. I feel like
our
that.
Wear Streets is different.
I feel like they went
Blood
nuts on that
Pressure, you
shit.
gotta play Blood Pressure,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
You gotta play Fuck You,
Yep.
right? You gotta play Well, do you play Felony Niggas? Cold Humbly Niggas. You gotta play Breathe, or Can I Live, rather. Gotta play Can
Hmm.
I Live. Come on. Oh, man.
That
I'm
album was
fucked up
different.
now.
That different.
Recognize. Oh my God. Ride or Die, bitch. Oh, yeah, yeah. Forget about it. Forget about it.
I need a ride or die, bitch. Ding,
Scream,
ding.
Scream LOX. Yo, that album got some
That
shit.
album, I remember when it came out, bro. Like I remember putting that joint in the CD joint. Like, yo, they came at you on
Recognize
that one.
that beat.
Diplomats, what are we missing? Like you got volume one, volume two isn't most and the other good thing about this though, one, while this battle might be watched by the world,
Diplomatic Immunity.
yeah, while this battle might be watched by the world, it's really for New York.
It is for New York. No question.
So so volume one and volume one got some joints.
So, Volume 1,
Dipset anthem, really mean it. What am I missing?
More Than Music. Hey
More than
Ma.
music. Hey ma. What is
Second
that shit? The Towers.
album.
What's this shit?
New York City. Welcome to New York City.
Nah, that's
Oh,
Cam album though.
yeah, that's what I just thought
I
you said.
speak pain. I spit power. That one with you else. I can't
Oh,
remember the
what?
name of that shit. I can't remember the name of that song.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I
I'm
can't
looking
remember
at
the name of the
these.
song.
Looking at these albums. Lord, the Dips are in trouble.
Yeah, yeah. That's how I think the locks, especially with their features, man.
They in trouble. See, they in big trouble. They in
They
big trouble. They got Santana on the second one.
mm,
Um,
Santana's Town.
yeah,
Uh huh.
they're done. They're done.
I don't think they got a lot together. Like,
Not
and
as a no, not as a tandem. Oh my lord, yeah, they in trouble, bro. They
yeah,
in
I don't think they got
trouble.
a lot together. I don't. And so that introduces the solo pieces, which you know what they might go solo pieces for to go for broke
You think the locks?
because
You think the locks would have been a better matchup for G Unit, or G Unit would have been a better matchup for the locks?
yes and no. Um, I mean, obviously, G Unit, with Buck and 50, that's not gonna happen. But I don't think G Unit would have so many for them. Like, I mean, Beg for Mercy was
Yeah, fuck,
hard.
fuck Young Buck. I think you do it with You gotta bring
Somebody
They
do his part.
nah, fuck him. They would need but they would need
Game.
they need the game. They
Yeah,
need.
him and 50 squad shit. But
I know.
Buck had some joints though. Buck had some joints.
Yeah,
Especially Buck's first album.
yeah. Shorty
Buck's
on the
first
ride
album
was
had
good. I know.
yeah, Buck's first
But
album had
but I
some
don't think but I
smashes.
don't think you need him to get to 20. Like I think you can get past it.
Yeah.
Um but I think see when we talk about it being worldwide, um the difference is for tri-state area is going to be the mixtapes, the mixtape tracks is the
Junior
difference
mixtapes.
for
Yeah.
G.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Nobody's fucking with them on that. I mean, nobody's fucking with them
because
on
if
that.
they pull those, oh my goodness,
No one's fucking
the
with them on
victory
that.
freestyle, oh my god,
Yo, it's a fucking freestyle. What you want for free?
yeah.
Fucking A-Rads just ran the fucking planes to the building. Coke price went up 10 grand. It's fucking weak. Yo, bad news. Oh man.
Yo, 50 is
Sheesh.
different, man. This nigga 50 different. People don't remember, don't realize.
Yo, shit. Get Rich or Die Trying by itself.
Yeah, get rich or die trying.
Get Rich or Die Trying by itself.
I tell y'all all the time that's a classic album. I tell you all the
No
time
question.
that could be arguably the best album ever.
It's one of them.
Arguably, I'm
It,
not gonna
it's
say
it's
it's the best, but it's definitely
it's
in the
it's
it's in the
it's
combo.
definitely in the conversation of one of the best put together debut albums ever. No question.
Without right, and you got to think about it. Without a lot
Features.
of features, like when
Yeah.
you talk about the games joint, what was
The
his album?
documentary.
The documentary.
That was one of my first favorite albums.
That album was fire too, but he had a lot of yeah. Well, I guess production was
it
probably the
was
big.
it was more 50. 50 was on the main joints that he kind of co-wrote. But other than that, Buster was on a hook. He didn't have many other features on that joint.
Gave him a lot of tracks on that album.
Game had some fucking fire on that, bro.
Yeah,
I
that
think
album, Dreams. Oh my
Dreams,
god, yeah.
Dreams, that shit was
But
hard.
they gave him Hate It or Love It. They gave well, no, not they. Dre gave him Hate It or Love It. How We Do.
No. 50 did hate it or love it. Like Dre was producing, but
Yeah, that's what I mean.
right, but 50 wrote the hook on that.
Yeah, but I mean, like I'm
You
talking
mean the
about.
beat?
Yeah, the beat.
Okay.
Yeah, the Hate It or Love It beat. The How We Do beat. Um, Let me see what else is on there. Where I'm
West Side
from,
West Side Connection.
West Side Story,
West Side Story rather. That shit was I mean, that whole I mean, Game could spit though.
Dreams.
Game to me, and I've always said this, and people said I'm crazy. He's in my top five from LA or the West Coast. He's in my top five. I'm bar none. He's in my top five.
He's in my top three
Oh
from the West
shit.
Coast.
I ain't think hey.
When
He's
you
in my
talk,
top. Yeah. I mean, you
well,
got
let's say
Cube.
Cali. Let's say Cali.
You got Cube.
Oh, I forgot Q.
Got
Ah,
Cube. You got Cube. Cube
Snoop.
is arguably number one.
I got Snoop number one.
Cube, Snoop, Pac.
The only reason I got Snoop number one is because of Doggy Style and Murder Was a Case.
Snoop is just a spitter. Like Snoop is
Yeah,
just a spitter. But Cube is Cube though, nigga. Like, god
yeah,
damn it, I'm glad y'all set it off.
yeah.
What used to be
But
hard, now you just wet and so.
the problem with not the problem, I guess, but the difference maker for me between Cuban and Snoop is that Snoop kept going and is still
Yeah,
going
yeah,
from a
yeah,
music standpoint,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah,
You know,
yeah. Beautiful. I mean, this motherfucker was in
Snoop,
'92
yeah,
to
Snoop could jump on
beautiful.
the track today. I mean, shit, look how he made that verses. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, X was there and X was a big part of it, but like his presentation made
Yeah.
that different, different.
Cube definitely stylistically did not survive as long. Even though he had some joints like, some memorable joints like, here and there, like put your back
A good
into
day.
it and I'm talking about later Cube, but
Oh.
like put your back into it. Uh different shit with Dub seeing them, but Snoop, you're right. But so yeah, either one for me. Um Snoop, Cube, Pac, maybe.
I guess I don't
Gotta
really.
put Pac.
I don't. I guess you gotta put him in
Gotta
there
put Pac.
from Cali,
Gotta
but
put Pac.
I don't generally count him as Cali. He is Cali. Don't get me
Right.
wrong, because he from when he was on Death Row. So
Right.
I guess you have to put him there, but I don't ever count him in that conversation when I talk about Cali.
I feel you. He's
Because I
East
see him
Coast
more as an East Coast
originated.
guy.
Yeah.
Um, but after that,
Game.
it starts to get slow. That's where the game comes in to me.
Game to me. Game has never to me had a bad album. If you listen to this shit, 1992, the documentary part 2, all them shit's been fire.
He can spit. He's just a cornball.
Yeah,
Like,
he does
that's the
wild
thing.
shit.
Yeah, like he can spit, but he's just a cornball to me.
I mean, Kendrick, you and I are not big on Kendrick.
I don't like him.
You and I are not big on Kendrick, but we would be I mean, just off of the hype beast alone, you gotta put Kendrick up there. I
Yeah,
can't think of anybody else.
I guess if you're talking about Cali and you was to ask some Cali cats, he would probably be up there.
Gotta put Kendrick up there. Unless you mean, and I mean, shit, we forgetting Too Short.
Shorts in there, I think.
Forgetting Too Short. Um, shit, man. I mean, our Cali knowledge is clearly limited, but our Cali knowledge is clearly limited.
Also, I'm not worried about being knowledgeable
Foul,
of Cali music. You know, Easy
foul,
E and stuff like that. I know about that, but that's about it.
you foul.
Um, yeah, I mean, I never claimed to be otherwise. Let's step into this. We didn't really get to talk about a couple of things. I want to get
Uh,
into
at an hour 15, you want to bring it back?
I want to get into Rachel Nichols.
Oh boy.
I want to get into Stephen A. Smith. And I want to get into ESPN as a whole.
Aha.
And Stephen A. Smith made a statement about Shohei Ohtani. For those who don't know, Shohei Ohtani was a Japanese-born baseball player, superstar in the MLB right now, two-way pitcher, batter. Um, Probably close to the face of the MLB, right? Because Mike Trout is hurt, and he's he's the guy right now.
Phenomenal.
And Stephen A. made a statement where he said, you need the face of. It's hard to have the face of baseball being a guy that you can't understand, that like can't speak English.
Right. Right.
And then he cops pleas and you know puts out statements. And then the next show, the next first take show, they do all this um Asian awareness, Asian hate awareness.
Mm,
And they put on this big spectacle and they bring on special sources to talk about times they interviewed Shohei and like all of that
mm,
over that statement.
mm.
I don't feel like that statement was that bad.
No, it wasn't. It was factual. The baseball for the MLB, while it is an international melting pot, uh, you need it to be rooted in America. Viewership, attendance. The MLB needs American fans, and for him to be the face of the MLB, it doesn't connect with the lack of black fans and black players, and it doesn't connect with middle white America.
I
It's just
mean,
a fact.
it's called America's pastime.
It's a fact.
Do you think he was insensitive in that statement, or do you think it was just a true statement that our society today, we're in a spot where we must tiptoe around what we're thinking and what we may want to say.
I think he could have been insensitive to Otani in the sense that you're pretty much saying this kid can't do something in not so much a lighter way. And it might be more Otani's fault because you're a pro athlete and people say wild shit about y'all all the time. So welcome to American journalism. People have said far worse things about players. So considering this kid is young and he is a superstar and he is balling, could he have maybe tried to say it differently? Yeah, but no, I don't think he was that egregious.
The next, well, not the next day, but recently, the Team USA lost to Nigeria.
And lost to lost to Greece.
I think they lost to Greece first, and then but when they lost to Nigeria, Stephen A. came out and he made some statements,
Hmm.
um, where he was, you know how he is, basically. How could you lose to Lumumba da baba da baba da ba like shit like like that? You know what I'm saying? Pronouncing the name wrong, doing all kinds of funky shit.
Yeah.
No apology.
Uh-huh. Uh
So much so that Team Nigeria tweeted about it.
put some respect. Put
And
some respect on my name.
I'm gonna find what they tweeted.
Put some respect on my name. No, they definitely lost to Nigeria first. They lost to Nigeria first, and then I'm sorry, they lost to Australia second. They beat Argentina, so they lost to Nigeria by 3 first. Then they lost to Australia. No Ben Simmons. No
Who?
one.
Who?
Yeah, I know. I know. The crazy thing is, right? Uh, Australia then beats Nigeria by like a million. So Australia, wow. And they were supposed to play Australia again, and that got canceled. And then they're gonna play Spain next. Yeah, I mean, and I think you're probably safe. Well, I don't know if you're gearing up for that to say what you're gonna say about ESPN, but yeah, no apology towards the Nigerian guys, so it's all good as long as who you're marginalizing looks like you.
Here you go. The Nigeria basketball team uh tweeted at the clip of Stephen A. Smith with the comment and quote a 1 minute clip with no basketball analysis and pure disrespect to the names of our culture. Do better, please, Stephen A. Smith. This is low, even for you.
Yeah, and nothing, and nothing,
And still no response. No apology.
nothing. And I know that this is what you're gearing to later about ESPN, but yeah, let's keep that in mind. You know, Stephen A. Smith, you came out, said something about Tani, which is very factual. And then you berate Nigeria, nothing basketball related, disrespecting their culture, their names, and nothing. And why? Is it because you look like them? What is it?
Hmm.
It's
Because
West African country. What?
I don't, I don't think Stephen A. Smith um thought what he said about Otani was bad. I don't think that he would have apologized if he wasn't pressured by someone to
Absolutely,
apologize.
absolutely. And we know how strong the Asian community is,
And
influentially.
and the reason I bring this up is I just want to say that this is the reason why you have so many people that say, and I know we've talked about in the past, and you guys are like, oh, it shouldn't be us or them. But this is why you have so many black people that are like, um, why do we need to stand up and fight for, you know, justice for Asia or stop Asian hate? Meanwhile, we're getting killed in the streets, we're getting beaten, battered, slaughtered,
Hmm.
cheated, um, raped, anything you can think of.
Hmm.
Um, shit, we're getting disqualified from the Olympics for marijuana. Um, and I agree. Listen, I agree with it, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm not off on her being disqualified. I'm off on her being crucified in the media
Hmm.
for it. When Michael Phelps, people were like, "Oh, look at he's a pothead." And he's just boys will be boys.
Well, he didn't compete high. He didn't get
No, no,
disqualified prior to competing.
right,
It
and
was
that's why I said
after the fact, but
with the competition, her getting disqualified, I'm with that.
right.
But just the sheer fact that some people are like, oh, it's weed. Oh my God, look at what she's. How could she? And when Michael Phelps did it, it was just like, oh,
Well, I mean, we're veering into other muddy waters, but my issue also with that was, look at the NFL, look at the NBA. Guys like OJ Mayo, Josh Gordon. Where were these people like? And I like where were the peers? Josh Gordon, man, this dude, this dude has had a history and trauma in life. You know what I mean? Shikari lost her mom, and I can't speak to that at all. Clearly traumatic. Losing a parent. I've only in my life only ever had one for my own self. But Josh Gordon, you look at his life, his drug use, his abuse in high school and prior, he's had some demons in life, right? And the only thing he's wanted to do was smoke weed and play football. And people would be like, how dumb can you be? Stephen A. Smith. I remember one of the biggest people, one of the most consistent people berating him. How dumb can you be? Just put the weed down, leave it alone. And now maybe because of the times are different, but it also speaks to the country. All of these brothers locked up for years for weed, and now it's big business.
Justin Blackman, another one with the
Oh,
weed.
yeah.
He
It,
didn't even get to make it to the fucking field. We didn't even get to see that man play.
yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah. So to your point, we're getting vilified for every little thing, and other cultures don't, and they get apologies, and yeah, it's very real. It's very real, which is why the shit that Rachel Nichols said is fucking terrible.
uh, Rachel Nichols has a right to feel a certain way. Um, when the way she said it, I guess making it, she left it up to interpretation, and the interpretation can be interpreted as, um, you know, racially insensitive, and have racist undertones for interpretation. Um, but I can understand where she's coming from. I 100% can understand where she's coming from. And you know, again, I don't fault her because I mean, and it's gonna sound bad, but she didn't know her mic was on. She knows she was on a
Right.
hot mic,
She does. She's
right?
speaking in confidence. So.
Right. She's speaking in confidence. She's speaking to her agent.
Mhm.
And she's basically telling, or not her agent, her PR person, basically saying, listen, how the fuck you gonna, you offer to pull me off of my job to give this person a job. In my mind, you're doing this solely because you want to save face due to your poor history of um
Racism.
racism,
Hmm.
or racial equality, right?
Right. Right.
And then she went on to say, I feel like, I've been there as a woman, um and
Which clearly isn't the same.
no, it's far from it, far from it.
Right.
But again, that's her talking to her
In
job,
confidence.
her company, in confidence, right? And it gets out. Uh it's
Listen,
tough, man.
I do feel for her in the sense that she said that in confidence because and it got leaked. Because there's a lot of things people say in confidence that however you feel, it should be honored
And
and
she
it should
can't be
be.
racist. She fucked Jimmy Butler.
Mm, a lot of ma'ams on the plantation smashed slaves, but
Yeah, but they weren't racist. They were taught that way.
not a racist.
They were told that was right.
Not a racist. Uh, I just it for me where she fucked up for me was she kind of shitted on Maria Taylor to be like she's cool, but the only reason you're promoting this broad, my opinion, is because she's black. And she could have taken any other stance on that. She could have said, she's young, she's popping, she's taller than me. Shit, the people might actually like her. But you're assuming that the only reason that she's getting any consideration with you is because ESPN fucked up and not that she's good. And whether her intent was to be racist, I can't argue that. But what you said has racist undertones, and that was the issue for me. And quite frankly, I haven't liked her in a long time, to where she brought up somebody's old rape allegation. Um,
Kobe.
and yeah, and then it's just like, bro, you got your own show. You got the jump. You're fine, you know. But I get it in retrospect. I totally get the competitive aspect of it. But she introduced the racial part to it, and I think that's where she kind of fucked up for me. And my issue doesn't even still lie with her. I'm looking at the Molly Karam Rose, who when it's a male issue, when it's a male acting up or acting out of character or doing something wrong, she gets her 30-20 minute slot to go hard and say her experience and how she feels
Hmm.
as a minority woman, as a woman of color.
Princess Molly.
You know what I mean, who's married to a black man. I wanted to know where she was to defend Maria Taylor. It's clear cut as that. I don't give a fuck if Jalen Rose is Rachel's friend. I don't give a shit. You know, in that instance, that was wrong towards a black woman of color who's on a rise trying to get a spot. Molly, what is your thoughts? I want to know.
Yeah, but again, a lot like I said, the statement that she made was to me left to interpretation, right? I can't fault people who didn't who weren't offended. I can't fault people who didn't feel like it was time to run to, the Twitter or wherever and crucify Rachel Nichols. Because again, to me it's up to interpretation. She's speaking in confidence. And I would have seen it as worse had it been where they fired her or told her we are going to do this
Mm.
versus where she started and said they offered this to me. They pitched this to me and said how do I feel about it, right? And so to me, um it would have been worse if they would have been like if she would have said, "Can you believe that they removed me from my slot for this person because they have XYZ the same time, because they have a history of blah 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 blah."
It's just it's the same.
I don't think it is.
It's literally the same. It's just semantics. It's just different words. It's just different. It's just different
I
pace.
think it has different impact.
Let me
I think
ask
it
you
has
this though:
different impact.
if a white guy said this, what do you think the backlash would have been? Similar or worse?
Mm, if a white guy said this about a black woman,
Hmm.
well, it would have been worse. Absolutely, it would have been far worse, and it would have been far worse because they would have probably not only would they have targeted his statements about race, they would have targeted his
The
his
gender.
statements about gender. Yeah.
And this
um
is and this is my thing. And I think the only reason Nichols had any reprieve is because she's a white woman. And we in society, despite we have these Karens on display, right? I'm not saying Rachel Nichols is a Karen, which I feel bad for white women actually named Karen that are not doing racist shit. But we have these women on display that we work with that we don't think, oh no, she doesn't, and they turn out to be what? You know what I mean? So the not saying this, not implicating this, not going against what you're saying, but to just to automatically, and it seems like she automatically got a pass because oh no, she's a woman. She's Rachel Nichols. She can't. No, no way. Had fucking Skip said this. Had fucking Stephen A said this about a woman. You know, and I'm just asking where there's a little smoke, there's enough here. And there's been shit that has gone on for less. And I just want to know where there are not many women in journalism sports journalism. Molly to me is one of the biggest voices who's spoken out on countless shit and went hard. I just want to know what you think. I want to publicly know how that made you feel. I want to know.
Like I said, it probably didn't make her feel shit
I want to know. I
because
want to know
what's
why.
the way I look at it is, and it when anyone that commented or didn't comment on it, to me it was based on interpretation. Um,
True, but you do acknowledge that there were racial undertones in that, one way or the other, because she brought
I
in
I can
that piece.
acknowledge people feeling that way and interpreting it that way. To me, I don't see it that way. That's just my personal thought though. You know,
Okay.
and the reason I don't see it that way again is because, while she did say something, I think where I would have seen it as being a racial issue, or maybe I don't see it that way because they crucified her so damn bad all over the internet. Um, Black Twitter. Oh, Rachel Nichols.
She
Oh,
had to get it though.
she's on the plantation. Blah 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 blah. As if
She
she
had to
came
get
out.
it.
As if she listen. The way they treated her, they made it seem like she came out and was like, "They gave this nigga my job."
But she,
Like that's
but in a roundabout way,
no no.
listen, I know you're different. You're different, right? You're different. You're different in a lot of areas on these type of subjects. But in a roundabout way, she did what students at UF, at UCF, at Michigan do. And they say the only reason you got here is because UCF is fucking racist and you're not really a good student. They just got to fill a quota. That's kind of what she did, in a roundabout way. She didn't literally say that. And again, let's be clear. She was in confidence. I think
Perception.
I think that's the foul part about it on her behalf, that she was saying this in confidence. But perception, the fact that it's left open to perception and interpretation, like we say this all the time when it comes to some other shit. Even when we're talking about Stephen A. Smith, when we say this, when the perception and the question is there, we've seen how other people have gotten crucified due to their gender, due to their ethnicity. All I'm saying is, if you've ever been on that bandwagon of cancel culture before, i.e., Molly, okay, that's all I'm saying. If you've been on that bandwagon of cancel culture before, I just want to know from you, as a journalist of minority, womanhood, all of the shit, what is your take and why? That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know.
Yeah. But I mean, if maybe that's why she doesn't, give her take, because if she gives her take, then she can end up getting killed, because she might feel the way I feel. She might feel like, and she might feel it even worse because she works for the company,
Yeah,
right? So she
yeah,
might, the way I feel, right? The way I feel is when I hear it, when I listen to it, I saw, I perceived her animosity to be directed towards the company,
ESPN, correct,
towards the company, towards
correct.
them as as a whole, as shitballs, right? Um, not saying that there wasn't part of that statement that was geared towards Maria, in some way, but
That's it. That's it. If it was it, that's it.
right, but there's yeah, but so when we talk about when you talk about that and you talk about some way versus direct, you're kind of talking about jaywalking versus murder in my eyes, right? While they're both wrong,
Nigga, wow. How you even how you even comparing
because
that?
because you're not you, but people make it seem as though, right, the way they took it when they said, "Oh well, she said this about a black woman. Oh, she's so racist. She should not be at the picnic. She should lose her job. She should lose her show. She should not be able to do the NBA because black athletes make up the NBA. XXXXXX.
I
All
don't
types."
think it goes that far. No.
No, but you don't. But
Right.
that was all over the internet.
Right. But let's take that piece out of it. At the end of the day, let's just dissect what she said. For me, it would have been more digestible for me if she just said, "I'm Rachel Nichols, bitch. You're not giving my shit up. I don't give a fuck if it's the Pope, Tony Romo. Fuck, I don't give a fuck who it is. I'm Rachel Nichols, bitch." She said the only reason, and she went out of her way to bring up Maria Taylor, and she basically made me feel like the
She
only
didn't go out of her way.
she did, she's mentioned her name.
She had to mention her name.
She
That's
didn't
what she
have to
was
mention.
talking about. What
Okay,
was she gonna say? ESPN was gonna give my job to someone
they
else.
trying to give up my shit for some rookie,
No, no.
some youngin.
Again,
But
she's speaking. No, no.
she
Again,
made
she's
her
speaking in
okay.
confidence. If
I
she was
know
speaking, if she was doing an interview, that's different.
right. And
But
she wouldn't have,
but
and
when you're
she's not smart. She's smart enough to not say that in public. That's the point. And that's the thing that you can't take that element out of it because what people are saying in confidence might be what they really feel.
no, 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 no. When I'm talking about in confidence, I'm talking about mentioning her name. Because you're making it seem like, well, it's a racial thing because she mentioned her name,
Yeah,
but she had to mention her name
right,
because it
okay,
was a
because that's the
conversation with her
person that
PR
that's the
person.
person that's the person that they're talking about. But then when you specifically know you're talking about a young black woman, and then you say ESPN is only doing this not because she's good, not because she might look better than me, not because she might have better relationships. It's because she knows they have fucked up on diversity, and she's a black woman. It, it's a backhanded statement. While it's true, it's I could say that's like me saying, "Yo, the only reason y'all motherfuckers are good at math is because you're Asian." You know what I mean? It's a backhanded statement.
Yeah, but a black girl just won the spelling bee, so that
Oh,
doesn't
Jesus Christ.
mean anything.
It makes it all right.
Yeah. Um. But no, again, my thing is, the way that she said it was, you know, they asked me if Maria can have XYZ a job,
Hmm.
and I told them no. And now they're struggling with it. ESPN, they're struggling with it because they felt that they would be able to use this to combat their poor history with diversity and inclusion, which I am familiar with as I've gone through it here as a woman, right?
It, yeah, and
So
yeah,
where she says, I'm struggling. I struggled as a woman here with this company. You're trying to take from me and give to someone else. I feel like it's also part of this. That's she's absolutely well within her right to feel that way. That doesn't mean that she had any ill will towards this person. The ill will is towards the company in my eyes, and that's why, again, I can, like I said, I can appreciate people that took it that way. But it's just my personal thought that it's not that way.
yeah. I get it, and again, I get that. I get that. I think the problem again for me is just nothing else crossed your mind to say. Maybe they did studies. They do studies on this shit. Maria Taylor's popping. Maybe it was that. Maybe young gunners replace old dogs all the time. Rachel Nichols, you're an old dog in this game to them. Maybe you know what I mean. Maybe they're like you're an old dog. I'm gonna give
But
you
if
this young
that's
gun.
but if that's the case,
But
then
they
don't ask me for my opinion, right? If
no
that's
no
the
no.
case,
I
you come to me and you just say, "Hey, listen, we're gonna go
I
in this
get it. Your
direction."
opinion's still fucked up. Your opinion's still fucked up because it wasn't that you said fuck the young gun. You said yo, you're only doing this because she's black. You didn't say fuck the young gun. You didn't say fuck the rookie. That shit happens all the time.
Or she said, "I'm doing. You're only. I'm not. I don't want you to do this not because she's black, but because this is a big ass role. It's a huge
I'm
role."
fine. I'm fine with that. But when you brought up, when you always say as a supervisor, you always say all the time, it's not always about race, right? And you could tell them, motherfucker, yo, I'm firing you. And then they'll be like, oh, you fired me because I'm black. Nah, motherfucker, I'm just firing you because you ain't shit. But she inserted the race part. That was where it was like, for me,
But she
you
didn't.
inserted
But she
that.
didn't direct the race part at her. She directed it at diversity inclusion, which they suck at. So
Yeah, but you
so
directed it
that's
at her because she was
that's
the subject matter.
but she's well within her right to feel that the company is
Again,
doing it
poor in
for that
diversity,
reason.
right? She has no factual knowledge of that. She has no,
But we
you know
don't
what I
know that.
mean?
But we
No,
don't know that.
she doesn't have any factual knowledge of that.
How do you know that?
If she did, she wouldn't apologize.
Well, just like Stephen A. We have no factual knowledge that he was forced to apologize. Right? I think she apologized because she don't want to lose her fucking job. That's why she apologized.
So you feel like she
And
was forced to apologize?
she didn't apologize. Absolutely.
Okay, so again, if she had factual knowledge that ESPN said to her, "We're trying to do this as diversity hire," she wouldn't apologize. She would have had the receipts to
Why not?
say, she would have had the receipts to say this is the truth.
Yeah, but you can't do that. You can't do that in corporate
Okay,
America. Because
nevertheless,
then you're
but
putting
nevertheless,
putting a
ESPN
target on
didn't
your back.
make her say that. She said that herself. She said that herself. And that was the problem for me. She could have just said, yo, like dog, just like Favre said, fuck Aaron Rodgers. Fuck you. I'm not no, fuck Aaron Rodgers. Fuck
Yeah,
you.
that's a white man to a white man.
Yeah, but it's okay, still a young gun to an old dog. You know
No,
what I mean?
no. See, but that's the thing.
But are they both not women?
You're looking for ways that she could have said, or you're looking for her to have thought of other reasons as to
Right.
why the
Absolutely.
why she hates her company, why she
No, no,
hates her
no. Other
organization.
reasons why they
No.
were picking another
See,
woman
but
over
that's the
her.
thing. You are accepting it as her targeting her anger at the
No,
person's
that's not what I'm
ethnicity.
saying. That's not what I'm saying. That
Absolutely.
that's not what I'm saying. You just said that was a white man on a white man, so it doesn't matter. It was an old dog on a young gun. She could literally have said the only reason that they're doing this is because she's younger, whatever the case may be. She only gave the reason for Maria Taylor's advancement to be because she's black. That says something. It
That
just
says that
does.
that says that she has a poor thought of her company. To me,
Okay. Okay. Coupled with the fact that she only thinks Maria Taylor's advancing because she's black.
but she didn't say that.
She did in a roundabout way.
Again, that's perception. So that's
Yeah.
where we're always going to
And
end there
and
with
and
that
when you,
with this
and
company.
when you say shit to leave it to interpretation, this is what you get.
But she didn't leave it to interpretation.
It was left into interpretation. It's perception.
No, it
How
wasn't left to interpretation because she didn't say it for you to hear.
that's true. That's true. But
She was
you got
telling
caught.
homie
You got caught with your pants down. Ain't
she
nothing to
she was
say.
telling her PR person, yo,
We didn't. We didn't have.
these motherfuckers are terrible at diversity and inclusion, including when it comes to women and men, feminism, and masculinity. They suck. They're terrible,
We didn't have the
and
same discretion
they're
for
trying to get
Donald
her.
Sterling. Donald Sterling didn't say what he said in the public view either. He said it in confidence. We didn't give a shit.
Yeah,
Don't
but
matter.
his was direct racism.
Yeah, it don't matter though. If we can get access to what you said, you fucked. That's what we live. That's the society we living in.
Direct racism versus perception, two different things.
I'm saying you left it in open view for interpretation. This is a society we're living in. This is what it is.
But she didn't leave it in. Okay,
She
we'll
did.
agree. We'll agree to disagree
Okay.
because you're never going to get me to say she left it to for you to perceive that way because she doesn't care about you. She doesn't care about the millions of people that shouldn't have heard it. If I pull you into a bathroom and I'm like, yo, EJ, what the fuck is up with these crazy ass Asians? Right?
But okay.
And you happen to record that on your phone, or let's say we're in a bathroom in a restaurant and they're just being nasty time and they got that shit recording in the fucking restroom, which they shouldn't be doing, which is illegal, and that leaks. Motherfuckers gonna be like, yo, did you hear what this motherfucker
Okay,
said?
but
But
even though
my thought
Donald Sterling says something directly racist, it was the same thing. And all I'm saying is, I'm not arguing with you of the nature of how it got there. I'm just saying that's what happened. It is what it is. You said it.
but Donald Sterling didn't leave it to perception. He was direct, is what I'm telling you.
His what he said shouldn't have been leaked. Period. Either though.
No, it shouldn't have, but there was no
Right.
perception there. There was no question in what he was saying.
Well, I think and I get it. I get it. I get it. I just think I don't think there's much room. You know, I don't. I don't think there's much room for perception. You gonna see it that way, and I always take your stance of saying it's not about race, but she made it about race. She literally made it about race, whether she was being negative or
But
racist.
she didn't make it about race. She made it about race because you're perceiving it that way. That's
No,
why
no, no.
that's why we get to perception.
I'm not even saying in a negative
She's
way.
she's saying that she said the company has terrible
The company's
diversity and
terrible with race,
inclusion
right?
process. No, they have terrible history with diversity and inclusion. Period.
Right, which is
That's
race,
how
right?
it ended. That's where it ended.
Which is
No,
race, right?
no, because she said, "I also know about that as a woman."
Right, but but you're talking about a black person and diversity, so that includes race. That doesn't. You're not just saying it from a woman's perspective. You're talking about race, and
She's talking about the company,
so
though.
you're just saying diversity was the only thing she's talking. I'm not knocking that. You're not hearing what I'm saying. I'm not talking about
Mhm.
who she's talking about. I'm talking about the company. But are you saying it's only about diversity as it goes to womanhood, or was there race involved in that?
Well, I mean, diversity and inclusion is a lot more than just that.
I'm saying
It's
specifically in
more
this,
than
was it
sex.
just
It's
about
more than
womanhood,
race.
or was it race? In this
It's
instance,
it's your perception that it's about race.
I'm asking you, was it about race, or was she just talking about women?
I don't know.
All right. Well, again, that's my point. If you don't know and it's open in the air, while it's fucked up, we shouldn't have heard about it. While she's talking about ESPN, this is the end result. Sorry.
Right.
If it was a white man or a black man,
But the point is, my point from day one has always been she did not direct anything specific to this person at all.
that's your
At all.
perception.
At all. She
That's your
didn't say
perception.
Maria sucks and she's black, so she shouldn't get this job. That's a different statement.
She
That's a
bait, but
completely different
and that
statement.
and that right. While it's not outright, she still said the only reason this person is getting offered my job is because my company is some shit. Which even if you take away race or anything else, you're not praising that person.
But you don't
So
have to. You don't have to
I
praise
didn't I
somebody.
didn't say you did, but
You never have to
I didn't
praise
say you
somebody.
did. We're talking about interpretation. And it's up to somebody
But
like Maria
interpretation
Taylor.
has nothing to do with you praising someone in that situation.
I'm
You
not
don't
saying it
listen.
does.
If whether it's two men, two women, whether it's a black woman and a pink woman, it doesn't matter, or black man and pink woman, it doesn't matter. Like if you feel like you're being threatened in any way, you don't ever have to say this person is great and all, but like you don't have to. Maybe she doesn't feel she's great.
Again, right. And again, she didn't again, you saying you don't have to say this person is great. You also said she had to say this person's name. It can't be both ways. You could have just said these motherfuckers tried to take my job and they tripping. Period. End of story. End of story.
No, why would you
Yeah.
do that?
Why wouldn't
Hey,
you?
because he's gonna then say, "Well, what was the situation?" And
It
maybe
don't
that's what
fucking
happened.
matter who it is. Somebody else that's not me, they try to give my shit away.
No, it does matter. It
No, it
absolutely,
doesn't. According to you, it don't. You
it
don't have to.
absolutely matters.
You don't have to praise them. You don't have to talk about them. They tried to give my shit away. ESPN is tripping. Period. End of story.
No, what are you talking about? I'm telling you who the person is because that
Why
also
does it
allows
matter? Why does
that
it
also
matter?
because that also allows you to
Why
form
does it
your opinion.
matter?
It allows you to form your
But
opinion.
why does it matter?
It I just answered that. How many
No,
times do
no,
you want me to
what
answer that?
form my opinion on what?
Whether you feel
What
this
my
person is
opinion
better
is
than
right now, what I opinion no, we're not talking about better or worse or praising or nothing,
if
right?
I'm
It doesn't
talking to
matter.
you, if I'm talking to you and I'm telling you, hey,
I'm
they
telling you,
they're
some
trying to
young, inexperienced motherfucker, they try to give him my job that they don't deserve. End of story.
right. And then the next question is going to be like, well, who was it?
Why does it matter?
To you, it's why does it matter? But
I'm
you're going to
asking
tell them
you.
because I want to form my own opinion. That's
I
why.
just told you that they not experienced and they don't know
It
more than
doesn't
me.
matter. I have an opinion.
Okay. And then when I tell you who it
And
is,
I'm your PR person. So
and
maybe it's
right,
okay. Maybe I'm the one that can say, you know what, EJ, this person They are a little bit better than you. They
Yeah,
are
but that's not
stronger than you.
that's clearly not the fucking conversation. I then told you it was, and then I said the only
Right,
reason
but
they're doing
that's
this,
the thing though. You can't go hypothetical, and then when I give you a hypothetical answer to your hypothetical situation,
nigga,
we
you've been hypothetical. You've been the
okay.
one saying that she's just directing this at the company. It doesn't matter. You don't know. I'm telling you
Word for word, she
specifically it
directed it
is.
at the company.
I'm telling you who it is. And the only reason that she's getting it specifically is because they lack diversity. It links to either womanhood or race. Period. Because you're talking about diversity.
Mhm.
So which one is it? But you
That's how
don't
you
know.
that's how you perceive it.
No, that's what it is.
No,
Why
that's how
bring
you
up diversity?
because their company sucks at it because they've been in
Right,
the
but
news about it.
why is diversity an issue for that employee that you're talking about?
Because
Because they're a
because
woman or they're black.
because she feels like that's the reason the company is
Right.
making that decision.
But why
Period.
does it apply to that employee? She's not saying that about Wojnarowski. It
Woj wasn't given
matters.
her job.
No,
Woj wasn't given her
exactly.
job.
That's the point. She wouldn't have brought up diversity if it was Wojnarowski
Maybe
because
she
there is
would
no
have.
diversity. No,
Maybe she
there's
would
no
have. She
diversity in
ended the
that.
state. What are you talking about?
Where's the
She,
diversity inclusion in Wojnarowski? He's a white male.
he's a male. The fuck are you talking
And it's
about?
a male dominated sport. So where's the
It
diversity?
doesn't it doesn't matter what the fuck are you talking about? We're talking about
You're not
reporting.
making any
We're
sense.
talking about no, you're not. You
You're not
drank too
making
much.
it. So
I'm
why is
sober.
she
You drink too much, and you don't
why
live
is
in
she
circles.
bringing up diversity for a white male? Why would she bring up diversity?
Because it's a male.
Men are the majority of sportscasters.
What are you
Why would she
talking
say
about?
diversity? Why would she tell her
If
agent
okay, if
they're
Woj
only
was
giving
if
it?
someone was giving Woj the job over her, it's absolute. It makes more sense for her to bring up diversity
Why?
because she's a fucking woman. EJ,
No, she's saying they're only giving the person the job due to diversity. Wojnarowski is a white male. That's not ESPN trying to correct diversity. White male already dominates the fucking industry. That's not diversity. That doesn't
Th-
apply. The
they're
only
giving.
reason her statement applies is because
But
Maria
EJ,
Taylor's a
that's your
black woman.
problem. But that's your problem. You're taking it and you're making the statement say what you're perceiving. She didn't say they're only giving her the job because of XYZ. Her statement was,
You're playing semantics
"No,
because
I'm
she
not.
didn't.
No, I'm absolutely
All right.
not.
So
I'm I'm
can't
explaining to
we
you why
can't
this is perception.
it is what it is because you're gonna say because she didn't outright say that
No,
that's
that's
not
not
what
what
she's
I'm saying.
alluding to. That's what you're
That's not what I'm saying.
saying.
No, I'm
So
not.
okay,
But if you let me finish, you'll hear what I'm saying.
okay,
Her statement was this company sucks with diversity and inclusion.
that wasn't
So
her statement.
okay,
That wasn't precisely her statement.
okay.
Her statement was they asked me to do this. I
Hmm.
said no, and I
Hmm.
feel like they're only trying
That's
to
not what she
do
said.
this.
It's not what she said.
Okay,
She didn't
well
say that's what I
you
feel like.
say it verbatim.
She didn't say that's what I feel like. She didn't say I feel like at all. She didn't say anything about her feelings. She said just because you have, as a company, a poor history of diversity and inclusion,
Hmm.
you're not going to do that here with me. Get that off somewhere else. That's what she
Got it.
said.
Right. Okay.
She said, which I've also
Experience as a woman.
experienced as a woman. So
Right.
now you
So
talk about
again,
Woj,
right. How
and
does
you said,
Woj fit in that?
let me finish just for a second. Jesus Christ. You say, would she have said that statement if Woj was in that and was getting that job? Absolutely.
Why?
Absolutely. Because she's directing the anger at the company,
But that
EJ.
the diversity part does not fit
It
for
does.
Woj.
It
It
does.
does not.
It
Being
absolutely
hiring
does.
another white man
Okay.
is not
All right. We're done.
so let me ask you this.
We're
Hiring
done.
another white man is ESPN being diverse?
No.
So what the fuck are you talking about?
It's them being that it's
Just get
ESPN
the fuck out of here.
showing that they
You
have a
sound,
poor
you
history of
sound fucking
diversity.
crazy. So hiring another white man rectifies them being
No,
diverse?
again, EJ, you are taking her words and making
I'm
them the
asking
way
you a
you
question.
right, and it doesn't
I'm
fit the
asking you a
situation.
question.
Doesn't fit the
Right. That's my
situation.
point. So she clearly had to be talking about a community that needs more diversity and inclusion. Diversity and inclusion does not apply
Mhm,
to
mhm.
white males.
Again, you are taking her statement being directed at Maria. I
No,
am okay.
no. I'm
Okay.
talking about diversity inclusion, and I'm asking you, what and who does it apply to? And I asked you if a
It
white
applies to everybody. It applies to
okay,
men. It
now you're
applies to
lying.
women.
Now you're lying. Now you're full of
What are you
shit.
talking
Now
about?
you're full of shit. Okay,
What are
let's
you
move on.
talking about? Have you ever done
Diversity
training?
inclusion,
Have you
diversity
ever done
inclusion,
diversity and inclusion training?
diversity inclusion applies to okay, to everybody. Got it. Okay.
It does.
Okay.
It applies to men, women. It applies based on gender. It applies based on race.
Okay.
It also applies to veterans. So there's
Okay.
a lot more to it than just that.
Okay.
So my point is, her statement geared at ESPN is they have a poor history of diversity and
I'm not
inclusion.
debating that.
Okay, let me
I,
finish. Let me finish.
there's no point. I'm not debating that.
Right. So let me finish.
Okay.
So if if Woj is getting her job, she can make that exact same statement
I disagree.
because she right, you disagree because you took it that way. Because she never
No, I
said,
disagree
no,
because
no, 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 no,
diversity
no, no, no.
and
EJ, did
inclusion
she ever
doesn't pertain to roles.
did she ever say she's getting the job because of that in this
No,
word
she
for
didn't
word?
say that word for
Okay,
word, and
then
that's what I
that's it.
told you.
Then that's
We're
it. Then that's
arguing
it.
semantics, and
Then that's it.
you're never gonna get that because that's not what she said. And of
Then that's
course,
it.
that's not what she directly said. It's not it.
Right.
It's
So
what was implied,
question
and
is
we already
your
said
question
no, no,
was
no, 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 no,
your
no. Fuck my
question
question.
was,
You're
can
talking
she
about
would she say that against Woj? And I said yes,
no,
she could.
and
She could.
you're full of shit. You're full of shit.
Okay.
You're
All right.
full of shit,
I'm
and
full of shit
you're full of
because you think
shit because
she's racist.
she wouldn't have
Because
said
you
no.
perceive
You're
something
full of
different.
shit because she wouldn't have said that about a white man. She wouldn't have said that. She wouldn't have said ESPN is
Yeah.
failing to be diverse,
Again,
so they're
all
trying
right.
to hire another white man. You're
And
full of
that's your
shit.
problem. You're looking at race. I'm looking at
You're
the company.
Yeah,
That's the
and I'm
problem.
looking at the company too. And
That's the problem. You're
the
victimizing
company.
Maria.
Okay, let's talk about the company. The company is majority white male
Doesn't matter.
historically, so
Doesn't
that's
matter.
not being diverse. That's just opposite of
EJ,
diverse.
diverse is male versus woman. Diverse is black versus white.
No, diverse is
Okay.
adding more to what you don't have.
Tell me what her
You
statement told
already
you.
have no. I'm talking about something different. You keep talking about the semantics of what she's saying. I'm not arguing that. She didn't outright say anything directly. When you're talking about diversity in a company that's already majority white male, that's not diversity. You already have an abundance of something. Diversity would be whatever it is, whether it's Indian, Asian, male, gay,
You
whatever.
understand that when someone directs something at a company, they could be talking about lack thereof as well.
That's what I just said, Steven. I
Okay.
literally just said that, and you're not
Okay.
listening. I
So
literally
if
just
she
said that.
okay. So
ESPN does not lack
if she,
white males. Hold on, let me finish. To your
what?
point,
That's not
ESPN
what I'm saying.
that you
That's
just
not what I'm
this is what I'm trying to say to you. You're not hearing me.
right.
What
You're
I'm
telling me
saying
how
is
you perceived it. And I know how you did. You've said it a
what
thousand
I'm
times.
saying it. No, you're not
I know how
listening.
you
You're
perceived
not
it.
listening to what I'm saying. ESPN does not lack white males.
It means nothing.
So, okay. Nothing
It
to talk
means
about.
nothing in the
Forget it. It's
statement.
nothing to talk about. Forget it. It's nothing to talk about. It's nothing to talk
Right.
about. I let you talk. You not let me talk. So forget it.
It means nothing.
All right.
None of it. It means
Got it.
absolutely nothing.
You're right. You're right.
Absolutely nothing.
You're right. You're right. It's nothing to talk about.
I know.
I know. You defend Rachel Nichols. You got it.
I'm defending Rachel Nichols. Okay.
Absolutely.
If you say so.
Absolutely.
If you say so. There's only 1,000 text messages in the chat that says that what she said was wrong. All I'm saying is she's not racist.
No. I never said
But
she was either.
we got to play racist.
I never
We
said
have,
she was racist.
but we
Give
as
me
black
one time that
people,
I ever said she was racist.
racial undertones.
I said there was racial undertones of what
Mhm.
she said.
And what
I
she said.
said to the intent of
You know what
her
else she said?
being.
You know what else she
I
said?
didn't even get to finish. Again,
You know what else you said?
now you just over talking me.
You know what else you said?
Now you just over talking me.
You said a lot of women fucked the slaves. That's what you said. They were
Because you
racist.
said she can't be racist because she fucked Jimmy Butler. I said
Right.
I made a factual statement that white women plantation owners fucked slaves.
Right. And I said they weren't racist. You said they were.
Yeah.
So you're comparing her to them. So
No,
you're
I'm
calling
just
her
saying
racist.
you're telling me that a white woman can't be racist because she had sex with a black person? That's
No,
stupid.
I didn't say a white
That's
woman. I
basically what you're
said
saying.
Rachel Nichols.
But you don't know Rachel Nichols.
I said Rachel Nichols specifically.
But you don't know her.
Okay.
She could be. You don't know
She
her.
might be. But
Right.
based on what we heard,
No,
doesn't
based on what did we hear? What did
her
we hear?
statement, the statement she made.
No. Aside of that, what do we know about her? We don't know nothing.
It
You
doesn't
telling
matter
me
what
she
we know.
can't? You telling me she can't be
It
racist?
doesn't
'Cause
matter what we know. We're
you
talking
telling
about
me?
her statement.
Okay, you sound crazy. You're telling me she can't be racist because she had sex with Jimmy Butler. You sound stupid.
Absolutely.
You think white women can't be racist because they want to have sex with a black guy? Do you really think that?
Think about what you're saying.
I'm asking you a question.
Think about what you're saying.
I asked you a question. I'm not saying anything. I asked you a question.
What I'm
Are
saying is
you outright saying that a white woman can't be racist because she wants to have sex with a black guy?
what I'm saying is a white woman that's racist is not going to have sex with a black guy.
Answer the question. Do you think, yes or no, that a white woman that has sex with a black guy can't be racist?
A white woman would not have sex with a black guy if she's racist.
Got it. Okay. Moving on. Other aspect of what I said. I never once, not in the chat, not today, said she's racist. I in fact even said I can't assume her intent of what she said. I said what she said has racist undertones based on the history of this country.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't right to me. I didn't call her racist. Not once.
Okay.
Not once.
So she has racist undertones in the things
She
that she
said something that has
She said something
historical,
that you took that way.
right, that can correct. Let me edit that. That can be perceived as something that has racial undertones based on the history of this country.
Right. And that's perfectly fine if people perceive it that way. But I didn't.
I know. We know that. You made that
Right.
clear.
Right. So we don't have to play the race card every time somebody says something. Like
And again, I tried to go that route with you in the sense that I feel like in this instance, we don't have to go to race card. I feel like she was the one, to me, inserted the race part when she talked about diversity and inclusion. And that's where I went with my other statement that if it was a white male, there really wouldn't have been a reason for her to do that. However, I understand that you feel that even if it was a white male, she could have still talked about diversity and inclusion.
Right. And why could she?
I mean, no, we already went through that. I get it. I get your point. I really don't get it, but I hear you.
Right. So let me tell you why. Because she's directing, in my opinion, in my thought pattern, she's directing her anger at the company.
You keep talking about that, and that's not the focus.
That is
I'm not. No. I'm not taking.
You can't tell me what the focus is when I'm telling you why I perceive something.
Right, but that doesn't change the argument for me about diversity.
Okay, and that's fine.
It is.
I'm telling you why it fits for me.
I'm
telling you why it fits for me.
It
not
is
for EJ. Why it fits for me.
It is against ESPN, right?
Mhm.
We do know that. But
Yep.
when you're talking about diversity, you're talking about adding an inclusion. You're talking about adding more of something you don't have.
Or
Okay.
Or you
Or
could
what?
be or you could be talking about I didn't get an opportunity because of diversity and inclusion. That's what you're missing. You never let me finish. And that's what I want you to understand.
That still doesn't take away from what I'm saying. That might be true for her and that she didn't get an opportunity, which speaks to my point. Because ESPN, the company, historically has had more white men, the focus of diversity and inclusion for them probably wouldn't be to hire another white man. That's all I'm saying.
The statement that she made could be perceived if Woj was getting the job as he got the job because he's a man and she didn't get the job because they have poor diversity and inclusion protocols in their company. Period. So there's two ways.
So I see you spun that. You kind of spun that.
That's what I've been saying from the beginning.
No, but you kind of spun that. And let me tell you where you're wrong. Because if she said Adrian Wojnarowski is up for the job, and the only reason they're trying to give it to him is because they lack diversity. It's not because
That's the
no,
problem.
no,
She
no, no,
never
no. In
said
this
that.
instant, in this
But TJ,
instance,
that wasn't her statement.
okay, give me her statement again.
Her statement was they would actually, let me pull it up because
No, no, no. Just you said it perfectly before because you're spinning the context now. The context of what she said was whoever this person is only getting this job because ESPN has failed at diversity. It's not that, oh, they're giving this person this job who doesn't, who shouldn't need it because of diversity, and they're yet again failing. That's how you just spun it with Adrian. My point is, based on what she said, it alludes and implies to the fact that whoever they're hiring is only getting the jobs because they sucked at diversity in the past. What you're saying is you're spinning it to make it seem like she's saying, oh, if it's Wojnarowski, they get it. They're trying to give it to him over me because they've been bad at diversity in the past. That's not the context here. The context here is that whoever this person is, no matter who it is, they're only being considered because I get it. I'm a woman. I've seen how they failed in the past. They're trying to give this person the shot because of diversity and inclusion. So you're spinning the context. You're moving the goalposts. I see what you
you
did.
but you understand that the context doesn't matter when you're talking word for word and you're talking about perception, right?
The context does matter with perception. Word
Listen
for
to me.
word, no.
Listen
Context,
for just a
perception, yes.
second. The
I
perception, my perception is that she's directing it at the company. Your perception is she's directing it at race.
no.
So
That
with that said,
no.
so with that said, she can say the exact same statement word for word, verbatim, if it's a white man in that situation and it can fit.
You're not
And that's
getting
what
it.
and that's all I said from
I'm
the
not,
beginning.
you're wrong. I'm not talking about race. I'm talking about the company. And in this instance, context is everything, because she's not saying she's being attacked because of that. She didn't get the job because of the lack of diversity. She's saying in her contextual speech that this person that's being considered is getting it because ESPN failed them, and I can relate because they failed me too. It's not because they're continuing to fail, it's because they failed in the past and they're trying to correct it, which I'm saying to you wouldn't apply to Wojnarowski. Period. You're moving the goalpost. That's a totally different argument. If she had said the only reason Woj or whoever this white male is getting it because they're continuing to fail, that's different, because they're saying they miss. She's saying they missed the mark before and they're continuing to fail. She's saying that whoever this person is getting it now because they messed up in the past and they're trying to correct it. And what I'm saying is that would not apply to a white male, which is the majority at ESPN. You mix the context up. Totally mix the context up. Sorry.
Crappy long time record on diversity. That's what she
Correct.
said. That's
Correct.
what she said.
Correct. Which implies
So for you, she's directing it at a person. For me, she's
no.
directing it at
You keep saying that, and I keep telling you we're agreement of saying she's directing it at
sure.
ESPN. Contextually, she's
If she's
saying
so she's directing it at
ESPN,
the company, it doesn't matter who's getting the job.
ESPN, you got it wrong in the past. Let me ask you, do you agree with this? She's saying ESPN, you've gotten it wrong in the past, you've been crappy before, and you're trying to correct it now. Do you think that's what she's saying?
That is what she's saying.
Right. So what I'm saying is that would not apply to someone who's already been the majority of ESPN's hires.
TJ.
Because can you focus on what I'm saying?
But the
Because you
words can be said exactly the same. And it
forget
could
it,
mean
forget it, forget
and it
about
can
it,
mean something else.
forget about it, forget about it, forget about it. You're right. You're right. ESPN's been horrible with diversity, so they're gonna hire another white man. You're right. Forget about it. You got it. You got
Again,
it.
that's your perception.
Then that's all we've been talking about, and that's why I told you context matters with perception, because you have to fill in the gaps
Right.
based on what you got.
Right. So you perceived it a certain way. I perceived it a different
I
way.
perceived it at the
Rachel
company.
Rachel Nichols was killed. As far as I'm
Uh,
concerned, it
She
wasn't
ain't she
warranted,
ain't get
and that's not his room
she ain't get as bad as anybody else did. She didn't.
because
She
she
didn't
doesn't
lose
deserve
shit.
it as bad as anybody. She
Right.
did. She lost the finals this year.
Eh, eh,
So they gave her an option to lose them, and then because of her statement that leaked, she lost them.
eh. I mean, it's
So
been
she
worse.
did lose something.
It's been worse. Rob Parker was kicked off the network for calling RG3 a cornball brother. Could
Yeah,
be
but it
worse.
does right. It doesn't matter worse or better. You said she didn't lose anything. She lost something. She
Mm,
lost
she
something.
didn't.
She lost what
She
she
didn't lose.
wanted.
She didn't lose her job.
She lost what she wanted.
She didn't lose her job. She's still
She
gonna get
hasn't.
paid.
She may not have lost her job yet. She might
Ah,
still lose her job.
hey, well, like I said, at the end of the day, you say things
Perception.
that in this culture, and we talk about this all the time. You know, my thing is on whatever side of the coin you're gonna be on. You one of the people that's on the side of, oh well, they're doing too much, they're doing all this other shit. Okay. And then there's people on the other side that want to crucify anybody for anything. Listen, you've been consistent to say people shouldn't get killed for that. I understand. I'm not saying she should have got killed for that. What did I ask? What did I say? The whole time. I said, where's the Molly Roses? The people that kill people for little shit. That's what I want to know.
But she doesn't have to kill her because she may not feel that it's wrong.
I just want to know what she thinks. That's all I said.
But why would she come out and say that, EJ? Why would she
I
come out?
because
Why would she
she's
volunteer? Why would she
volunteered information on other things
EJ,
just
but
like this.
why would she volunteer to tell the world you guys are overreacting to this when she knows that she'll get killed if she does that?
Well,
Why would
where's
she do that? What does that make sense?
you're assuming that's how she feels. We don't know how she feels, right? All I'm saying is, as a woman of color in journalism, I would like to know how she felt. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
She's given us her opinion on countless other shit she didn't have to insert herself on. I look to her as a barometer of womanhood and culture.
She's given us her opinion when she feels that something is wrong. That's what you're missing. You're missing that
I
point.
don't know that because I don't know that she's done that every time about everything. You don't have a track record of everything she said about everything. All I'm saying is I would
Give
just
me
like to know.
so
I
give
didn't
me
say she has
give
to
me one
say
time
anything.
where she came out and spoke
I
on
don't
something.
know every time she said anything. All I'm saying to you is
Mhm.
I'm not even saying she has to do anything. You're putting words in my mouth.
You well,
All I said simply was
yeah,
I would like to
you
know what she
forgot what you
said.
said an hour ago. Because an hour ago you said that she should have come out and said what she was thinking.
I literally said I would like to know what she said.
Mhm. An hour ago
Period.
you said she should
I
have
would
come
like
out.
to know what she thought.
You said specifically, word for word, I don't even care that Jalen is friends with her. She should have come out and said it. That's exactly what you said.
I don't remember that, but okay. I said I would like to know what she said, but okay. I mean, but I just want you to go on record that you said white women wouldn't fuck black men if they're racist.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
That is 100%. A white woman
I think you should make that the promo clip.
a white woman that is racist will not sleep with a black man.
I think you should make that a promo clip.
Why would we do that?
Why not?
Because you don't want to be on the internet saying that.
We are on the internet saying that.
All right, you don't want to promote
But
yourself saying that.
why not? You are on the internet saying it.
Right.
That's your opinion.
But you wouldn't promote yourself saying that. If you
It's
promote yourself,
controversial. It's good. It's good press. It's good debate.
so you say it then.
I don't believe that.
You don't have to. You say it and we'll promote it.
Why would I say that? I don't believe that.
You say it the other way then. Say what you think and we'll promote that.
I already said it.
What's your thought? What's the opposite?
I believe that you can have sex with anybody and still be racist. A white woman can have sex with black men and still be racist. A black man, a white man could have sex with a black woman and still be racist.
Okay.
Being racist does not prohibit you from wanting to have sex with somebody.
What? Do you know what racist is?
Do you know what racist is?
Let me pull up.
I think that's a better question. Racism is systemic power, hatred for another culture, thinking that they're less than you and etc. And I know that. And hence why I said to you, the male slave masters had sex with black women all the time.
We're not talking about whether that happened or not.
It,
What we're
it's
ta-
relevant to the conversation.
it's relevant. We don't listen. We don't have slaves right now. Slaves
You're
aren't a thing right now.
even today's day and industry, white men could pay for sex. They could do whatever they want to
They
do
could.
with somebody. They go to strip clubs, they see people, they fantasize, and they could still be racist. To think
No,
that,
EJ. You know what that means? That means you're not racist.
all right,
That,
you
that
got it.
means that means
All I
that you're
want,
not racist.
that's fine. That's your opinion, and I got mine. Promote it either way.
You understand that somebody being racist, they feel like they're superior to someone based on their
Absolutely,
race. Okay,
absolutely,
okay, okay. So
absolutely.
okay. So if you're superior to someone and someone is inferior to you, right?
Hmm.
But but you have the urge to have sexual intercourse with them and you're attracted to them, then you're not
So you,
racist.
yeah, okay. You go with that. You
You're
go
not
with that.
racist.
You go with that. I'm with you. I'm with you.
There there might be other words for it. There might
You
you
go
might
with
have
it.
there might be some other thoughts,
Go with it. You got it. You got it.
but that's not racist.
I'm with you. I respect your opinion. I think it's dumb. I think it's bullshit, but okay. You got it.
Xenophobic. That probably sounds better.
Where we at? Are we at bingeables now?
Yeah, what you been watching?
Uh on Netflix, man. If you like horror movie classic type, nostalgic type stuff, um Fear Street. It's a good trilogy. I
Is it a
enjoyed it.
movie?
It's a movie. It's three movies. They released them back to back. They chronologically break down everything. It's a pretty dope little series, man. I like it. I recommend it. Highly recommend it.
Fear
Uh
Street.
Fear Street, the Fear Street trilogy. You gotta start with Fear Street 94, then go to Fear Street 1978, and then go to Fear Street 1666. Pretty good. Pretty good stuff. Um Tomorrow War, I don't think we talked about it. I thought it was dope. I thought Chris Pratt was pretty good. It was a fluid story, made sense, good action. It was one of the most complete. Not one of the most, because most is like a bad word to say, but recently that was a film that I saw that was like truly complete and just a good story overall. I liked it. The Loki series I saw. I'm not gonna say too much on it because you haven't seen it,
Wasn't he in
but
another movie, Chris Pratt,
Chris
recently?
Pratt is in Guardians of the Galaxy.
No, not that. Was he in another movie after that? Was it him?
Mm,
It was a Netflix movie, or was it Captain? Was it the guy that plays Captain America?
mm,
Let me look it up.
Chris Evans. I don't know, but Tomorrow War is good. Loki, not better than Wanda. I mean, better than WandaVision, not better than Falcon and Winter Soldier. Let's just say that. Marvel is teasing people with having these cliffhanger major events happen to leave things open into to interpretation, and people are getting hyped at the last 20 minutes of an episode. I can't get with it. Like Loki was it was good acting, um, but a
I think
lot of it
they
fluff.
have. I think they have to do that right now because they're at a crossroads in where they need to introduce new heroes and what the next gen of their movies is going to be. So I think that's partially why we're seeing we're seeing that like
Yeah,
leave opens.
yeah. That's I've said that when WandaVision first dropped, they're ushering in the new phase. I just think, and I said this too. I think Marvel fans are at a point in time where they're gonna accept anything Marvel throws, and I think Marvel is playing with house money, and they know that. No matter how good or bad the content is, they know people are gonna buy into it. But I wasn't that impressed. It was decent though. And then I saw Space Jam, and the floating theme that's going around today is like,
LeBron's a
well,
bad actor.
so boy, I didn't even get there. I liked his effort for trying, but he was pretty bad. He was pretty bad. I liked the family aspect that is always highlighted about him. Um,
Jordan wasn't that great either. People
nah,
gotta understand that when he was in
yeah,
space, he
no,
wasn't a great actor either. So
no, not at all. And I think they were smart enough to give him less lines to try to mask that. To whereas I think they tried to give LeBron more acting chops, and I think you can kind of see he might have been nervous in certain parts, and he might have loosened up later. But people are like, yeah, you know, Space Jam ain't for 30 something plus year old people, it's for young people. What I say is, you got to realize, motherfucker, if you got kids, you got us 30 to something, 40 something people got to suffer through it too. So I just elected to go to sleep. The first act where I heard LeBron come in, I mean, literally the first act where LeBron comes in, I was like, nah. I was like, nah, bruh. I can't sit through this. This is gonna be bad. I'm going to sleep. But my kids enjoyed it. I love the family aspect of it. Like we always say, LeBron is, if anything, the GOAT off the court, when it pertains to family, business, community type things. So shout out to him for that. But other than that, I fell asleep, and it may not be for us. But
I'm fine with it being cheesy. I expect it to be cheesy.
did you
Um,
see it yet?
no,
I don't know that it was cheap. Let's be clear. I didn't watch it, but the first scene, I could not. I couldn't sit through it.
everyone said it was cheesy. Everyone
Uh,
said it's cheesy, and that's fine. I mean, it's while it is an adult, as adults we will watch it. It's a kids movie. And realistically, I really think they could have done without remaking it because these kids don't watch Looney Tunes anymore. Looney
that's
Tunes
very
is
true.
Looney Tunes is a thing of the past. These kids, cartoons have come so far, but whatever. We'll see. Maybe it'll get people back into Looney
I
Tunes.
definitely think it'll go. I definitely think it'll get them back to it, because my kids for sure, to anything of my knowledge, don't know nothing about Looney Tunes. But by the end of that movie, they were invested. And I
And
was never a fan of Looney Tunes.
now you can put on some Bugs Bunny and they'll know what he is.
Exactly. And I was never a fan of Looney Tunes, to be honest.
I
I
like
never
Looney
really
Tunes
liked them. But
and I like Tiny Toons.
yeah. I think it was I think the way they put it together, I think how they opened it up was pretty dope. I think there's a lot of good things to take away from it. I can't hold you though. That first scene, at the moment he said a
I'm sure
couple
it's
of
gonna suck.
lines. Hmm?
I said I'm sure that part's gonna suck.
You I
He's a
mean
bad actor. He's a terrible actor.
I
He
mean
was
you
a
got
bad actor in that other movie he was in.
I didn't watch it. What other movie was that?
He was a supporting actor in. Remember, he was somebody's. Was he their
Like
therapist?
like a
Oh,
friend, or
Trainwreck. Was it Trainwreck?
I didn't watch it.
Hold on, no, Trainwreck was his name. And hold on a second. LeBron James. Yeah, he was in Trainwreck.
I didn't watch it. He was like the dude's best friend or something like that, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I didn't
With
watch it.
the dude from Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, I didn't watch it. So that was
Yeah,
my first time, I guess, really seeing him act.
he was terrible in that movie. In
Trainwreck.
Trainwreck. Yeah, so bad.
Yeah. First scene in Space Jam, I was like, ooh, I'm going to sleep. So I went to sleep. So that was that. That was only it. That was it for me. Fear Street, though, I recommend it. I watched it and I got addicted. And Netflix actually did a damn good job with that, because they rolled it out, and they had like the first one came out, let's say like late June, early July. Then the second one was mid July, and then the third one just dropped like this weekend. So I think that was pretty dope. Like, you gave people a trilogy back to back to back, the way they didn't have to wait. You know what I mean? Mad long, and it all fit. It all came together. It's pretty dope. It's pretty dope. I liked it.
I watched Black Widow, of course.
Forgot I
Um
saw that.
I watched Black Widow. I saw it in the movie theater.
Me too.
I thought it was pretty good.
Thought it was good.
I like I like her sister. I like the character that plays her sister. I thought she was pretty funny. She had her, her one-liners that I thought she did good with. And she's, appealing on to the eyes. One thing I took away from that is Scarlett Johansson is getting older. Um,
How'd you get that?
she's still bad, but she's not as bad as she was. Um, you know, looks wise. Um, and the other thing I took away from that, I thought it was a pretty good movie. I thought they did a pretty good job with it. Um, you know, given the fact that it was her.
Hmm.
We haven't gotten much Black Widow in the way of her being a major character or a major contributor
Hmm.
uh in all of these movies. I mean, she's been there, but that's it. She's just been there.
Hmm.
So I thought they did a good job kind of telling her backstory. And I appreciated that. And I like the post credit clip, so
Hmm.
we kind of knew where that's going. And I expect to see more of her sister. That's great.
Yeah.
Um I've been watching this. I started watching this show that's on Apple TV. It's called Schmigadoon.
Mm.
Oh, and Raising Kanan starts tonight.
Does.
Yeah. But I've been watching this show called Schmigadoon, and it has Cecily Strong from Saturday Night Live. That's the black haired chick, and it has Key from Key and Peele.
Okay.
And I like him. I think he's really funny. They are a couple. They go into like the 1940s, like a 1940s like musical type of thing, and they're stuck in it. Like it's like a show, like a TV show type of thing.
Hmm.
They're stuck in it and they can't get out until true love is found. I'm only 2 episodes in, so I don't know what happens after that.
Hmm.
But it's pretty funny. He made me laugh a few times in the first episode. And I think she's pretty good. I watched the first episode of Loki, so I gotta get to that.
Ugh.
There was there was something else I watched. Damn it. Oh, I finally got to Mayor of Eastwood.
You finished it, or
Yeah,
you?
I finally finished Mayor of
What'd you
Eastwood.
think?
I liked it. I liked it.
Good
I
little
thought
twist.
there was a lot of twists. There was so
Hmm.
many twists at it. Like like I felt
He's
like
like, I
they
knew it was him.
yeah, I felt like they overdid it with the twists. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta have twists in murder mysteries and shit like that. But I felt like there was just so many twists. Like it was this person, then it was this person, then it was that person. Like, and then it's like, oh, he's taking him up to the lake to kill him because he did it. And you're like,
Yeah.
and then you get there and you find out it wasn't him, it was him, and then you find out he's covering for this person, and then you find out that his wife knew all along. Like it was so much at that last 30 minutes that it was just like they forced it. But I thought don't get me wrong, I thought it was probably one of their best ending shows, and that's a lot to say, but it's
Yes.
because HBO
Yes.
sucks at
Yes.
closing shit.
Yes. Because they usually cannot close a show, and I
Yeah,
was happy that that was complete and we
they
figured it
did
out.
They did a good job. The mayor chick, I like her. What's her name in real life?
I don't remember.
I was gonna say Scarlett
I
Johansson.
forgot that y'all. I forgot that she was in Titanic till y'all told me.
Yeah, I like her though. Well, I like her in this show. I thought she did a good job. She captured that character. Kate Winslet.
Mm.
She captured that character pretty good. So I finally got to watch that, finish that, and I liked it. It was pretty good. I like shows like that
Hmm.
that keep you wondering and thinking what the hell, make you want to watch the next episode. And then I also watched shit. What else did I watch? Then this coming week, I'm gonna get to watch some extra shit too because Ashton's going to full time school this week. Uh,
Mm.
yeah. Oh, I started watching this show called Atypical on
With Michael
Netflix.
Rappaport. I
Yeah, I'm
heard that
sure
was
you've
good.
seen that.
I
I'm
never watched it.
I'm 3 episodes in. I'm very interested in continuing it. It's 3 seasons so
I
far.
heard it was fire because they just released the latest episode. I mean, latest season,
Yeah,
and
season three just
Michael
came out.
Rappaport is in it. He's been talking about it for years, and I just never got into it.
Yeah, the little bit that I did watch with him, I thought he did a pretty good job with.
Mm.
I was surprised to see him. I wasn't expecting to see him because I didn't know he was in it.
Yeah, no, I follow him here and there, not as much as I used to,
Yeah, he's
but
getting a little OD out there for
yeah,
these
yeah,
streams.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But so I started watching that. I'm 3 episodes in, two and a half. Fell asleep on the third one. So that's what I'm gonna continue. That's probably gonna be my next gym show or workout show.
Elliptic, whatever,
Elliptical
bike,
shirt. Yeah,
elliptical
I'll
joint.
jump on there. 50 minutes. I dropped that on there. Actually, that other one, Schmigadoon, is not bad. If you could find that on your streaming device,
Your godmother ruined that for me.
why?
she uh we just got a new modem for our local cable company. She decided that it wasn't working well for her.
Gotcha.
So she went to take it back, which then disconnected me from everything I had set up. And Fire Stick wise, it's not recognizing my Fire TV app, so I can't get into it. So I don't know what's what at this point. So
You better Google it. You can fix that.
I'm thinking I might have given her my device and maybe I don't know. So it's foul. Needless to say, it's foul. So I'm
Yeah.
pretty stuck because that's where I would find it. I'd have been watching it tonight, but nope.
Yeah.
Thanks to your aunt.
I'm gonna watch Raising Canaan.
Yeah, I think I might get stars back for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that. Definitely gonna watch that.
Yeah,
I
50
think
got
that's it.
BMF coming out
Yeah,
in
I think that's all I've
September.
been watching, man. Disney. Let me check my Disney Plus app. Anything that I don't remember? No, I don't think so. Yeah, that's it.
It's not bad. Not
I'm
bad.
gonna finish Loki though. I gotta finish Loki.
Loki.
A couple more episodes. I watched
Yeah.
it. It took me two times to get through the first episode. The first episode,
Bruh. I
it was
fell
slow.
asleep 4 times.
Yeah, the first one was slow.
Yeah.
Um, I hope there's more Owen Wilson throughout. I like Owen Wilson.
I hate Owen Wilson. I hate Owen Wilson. I hate Luke Wilson. And I hate Nicolas Cage. Those are my three most hated actors.
I like Owen Wilson.
Can't stand him.
I think
What is-
he's funny sometimes, and I don't know.
I will say the Wilsons can act. I just don't typically like them. Nicolas Cage, I just don't like as
Terrible
an
actor.
actor at all. I don't like as an actor
Oh,
at
I
all.
like his brother, man. I like Luke.
Luke Wilson, yeah. I don't like either one of them.
That's the guy from Old School.
And Blue Street, yeah.
I don't care about that other stuff. But
You
Old
Blue
School.
Street. You remember Blue Street with Martin
Oh,
Lawrence?
Martin. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think he did that great in Blue Street.
Nah, that shit was funny.
Martin did good in Blue Street, but this guy, he was kind of boring in it.
Mm, I don't like
Is
the
that him
Wilsons.
that was in Blue Street?
Yes, Luke Wilson. No question. No question.
Are you sure?
I bet money.
I'm not betting money.
All right.
I'm trying to remember though.
You should have Googled it by now.
Luke Wilson. I thought it was maybe because
Yeah,
it was
he's
so
in Blue
early
Street.
in his career.
I don't know how many movies he's been in, but
He's been
that
in
was
a lot, but I thought that had to
he
be
was
the name.
definitely in that shit. Dave Chappelle. Dave
Oh, that's
Chappelle.
right. He was the cop in Blue Street. That's right.
Uh-huh.
That's right.
Yep, Luke and Owen Wilson.
He had a small role in that though. kind of.
He was the partner. Nicole Ivory Parker was in it. Blue Street, Martin Lawrence put on, man. Because Dave Chappelle was fairly still not off. Like Half Baked had just came out.
Yeah,
But
but Dave Chappelle was funny in Blue Street.
yeah, now he's funny as shit. But I mean, he gave him a chance pretty much because he didn't have a big role. You know what I mean? He
This
didn't have
guy
a
did a
huge
good
role.
job, man. He's pretty good, man. This guy, Luke Wilson.
Damn, he was in Scream 2. He don't really
He,
have many major roles prior to 2000. That was one of his biggest roles. He was in Legally Blonde. He was in Charlie's Angels. I remember both roles in that. Old School was '02. Stuck on You was another one. He was in Charlie's Angels again, Legally Blonde again. I know he had the joint with my
Blue
super
Street
ex
was
girlfriend.
99, right?
Yeah, he had my super ex girlfriend. He was in
Oh, which,
Anchorman.
yeah. He was
Uh, Jackass number 2. Didn't know that.
Scream 2, The X Files.
310 to Yuma.
Oh, yeah. He was
I
in
didn't
310.
see that. Death at a Funeral.
That's it. Other than that, he did a lot of, not a lot, but he did some TV. Saturday Night
Yeah.
Live. All right, I gotta go to sleep. um, do we have anything else to cover other than the bingeables?
No, I think we let Rachel Nichols run away with the show today.
Yeah, I'm gonna edit most of that out anyway.
Oh man, got it.
It don't make sense.
Anybody saw it live will know.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't expect somebody to sit there and watch 40 minutes of that back,
Mm,
back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
mm,
Not an hour into the show.
mm. I can
Next,
dig it.
next time you want to talk about something racist, we do that at the beginning. We can open with that, so people can get their
Take your sleepy ass to sleep. Tired of carrying today.
carrying. You ain't carried nada, near nada.
Not a now, not a nigga.
All right, well, take us up out of here then, since you carrying shit. Since VP ain't nowhere to be found.
Hey guys, you could be anywhere else, but you're listening to us. We
Yeah,
thank you for your support. Follow, share, like, subscribe. If you have an opinion, you want to come on the show, we'll take it. We'll listen to you. We didn't do the politics today, where I had my 2-hour run about politics, but I'll be back next week and talk about politics all crazy. And Castworthy Podcast. We're at Castworthy_podcast on IG, Castworthy on Twitter, Castworthy on Facebook. And appreciate you for rocking with us, man. Peace.
Peace.